Hello and welcome back to The House That Happens, recorded live at Chewy's Bar and Grill, the only place to be in suburban Etobicoke, voted 4 times the best dive bar in all the GTA. And as a Leaf fan, I'm wondering, is Swayman solvable? I'm Andrew Milani.
And I'm Cruz. And I'm here to tell you that I'm going to solve all the problems for the weak-ass people that are falling off the Leaf bandwagon. Is that a good way to open the show?
Who's falling off the Leaf bandwagon?
We're going to get to that when the time comes, because you know what? The city's shaking. It's, Saturday morning.
Welcome to playoffs in Toronto.
First thing I have to do, if you don't mind, April 27th, happy birthday to my mom, wherever you are. Heavenly happy birthday, or whatever they say. Betty Kelford, you are the greatest. Love you, miss you. This is from all the brothers and sisters and grandchildren. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
Yes. But back to the Toronto situation.
Yes.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. I went to 2 Marlies games this past week.
2?
Yeah, so Sunday was their final game of the regular season. I bought tickets for that, and then all of a sudden, during the week, they gave me an email for free playoff tickets for last night. So, of course, I took advantage. It was a great game. They beat Belleville 4-3 in overtime.
Okay, so they paper the room a bit. Is that what you're saying? But
yeah.
The quality, who cares? The quality of hockey, right?
Yeah, and the fans were into it. We got a free towel.
Really?
Tons of Belleville fans, too.
Well, as I was saying, man, what are you doing when you're living in Belleville on a Friday night? You know what I mean? You're going to go out and get stinko with the boys anyway. That's going to big city of Toronto. Yeah. What's Belleville, about an hour and a half, 2?
2 hours.
2 hours or so, yeah. Oh, no, they come into town. I bet you a lot of those guys don't remember being at the Marley game. I'm just making a little assessment. When you add alcohol out of town, big city, boom.
Always a great time at the Coliseum watching the Marlies, though.
I will go down next year. I will take a look. But, I'm glad you were in the city. What was the vibe in the city? Must have been a good vibe last night. We'll get to it. Ohtani was in town, you know what I mean? But the number one thing is, we're going to get to that, is we know what the situation is with the Toronto Maple Leafs right now.
Yes,
and
we do.
And I've been taking what would you call a man on the street, feet walking around with my dog, saying, hey, Leaf fans, how you doing? Usually wearing Montreal gear. So that means that's full disclosure. And I don't say nothing because I can't.
Sure.
It's not for time for me to be like, I'm just saying, hi, how you doing? Do you like McAvoy? Do you prefer Swayman or Allmark? Just basic things you talk about every day. It's going to rain today. Oh, how do you like Allmark?
I don't know if there's any Leaf fan that prefers Swayman to Allmark.
I
think we're starting to like John Montgomery for putting in Allmark a little bit more.
Oh, okay. That's true, too. John Montgomery made some crazy comments, but we'll get to that. We got lots of Leafs.
Well, there's been outrageous comments from both coaches, I'd say.
No doubt. Gamesmanship, that is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about it, because that's going to be a lot of thing I'm going to say, and maybe that'll be the name of the show, but it'll be, what's the temperature of the day? Because I've been living in this city for 43 years, and when they're going into a Saturday night game and the Toronto Maple Leafs are playing a playoff game and they're not winning, I can feel it's a different kind of vibe. After all those years when you didn't make the playoffs.
Sure.
Okay, so now that you're here, which you guys should be happy. Is this 8 years in a row?
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are doing pretty good, but we'll get back to that.
I've thought about that recently, too. I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't really complain, since we barely didn't make the playoffs, really.
Oh, no, for a bag load of years, so you're on the other side. That's what I'm saying. Civility and positivity. Y'all got to keep it into context. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm saying not to worry until next Saturday when it's Game 7, but...
we said it's going to go along a little bit further, but tonight is huge. We're going to get to that. A little quick shout-out to one more thing. I've got to go out to, where we went to do our offshore at San Francesco's. The Sluggers now have a logo.
Hey, you gotta send that to me.
Yes, I will. I will send you the logo. We also are 10 days away from our inaugural inception into probably what is a bad men's beer league, baseball team. Okay?
We'll see.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be cheering you guys on.
I've been working out. Just want to say, big guy, son, Zachary Cruz, doing a great job. He's got to do all the administration, signing me up, getting me online to sign waivers. Whew, I don't even know what he's doing, but my phone's ready, he told me, because he put it on. So we're good. Anything else? I got a couple other things you want to shout out. Do you want to shout out to anything? Your week so far?
You can go ahead.
We'd be dismissed if we didn't talk about Scotty Scheffler having a Tiger-esque run, winning 4 out of 5 tournaments, all those upper, what do you call those now? They upgrade the tournament so everyone gets more money. And coming in second at the, whatever it was, the Genesis or whatever, in 1 week. That's very Tiger-esque, okay? Now, what's really a drag is I had her name down in my other book. I think her name is Corda Stewart. his counterpart on the women's tour is on the same run.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Yes, big shout out to her. And I'm so sorry I forgot your name. I will get it next time. But the only reason I'm bringing up is because I'm really liking the fact that women's sports is getting more light, especially in the year 2024. Because the quality of the competition has gone up, if
Agreed.
nothing else. You know what I mean? Which is really cool. But the ladies have all been there. We got Brooke Henderson. You know what I mean? She's going to be battling with her. So I just wanted to shout that out. And while I'm at it, speaking of great lady accomplishments, did you know that Caitlin Clark's jersey, small, extra small, medium, large, and extra large of all sizes, has been sold out by the manufacturer who makes them.
Yep.
And she has sold more uniforms than all of the Dallas Cowboys players combined.
This year?
This year, as of 2024. That's think of the Dallas Cowboys and what those schmucks, how they are, they're like I put them in, I don't want to put your Toronto Maple Leafs in there, but we could, whatever.
Them, the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Those ones. But in any event, I think that's a remarkable accomplishment. And remember, girls out there, as we're going to keep reminding everybody, I hope this girl really, really takes it up because she's got the water that raises the boats. She was at the Indiana game last night, too, which is very cool.
Oh, awesome.
You know what I mean? But we'll discuss that later. Oh, by the way, the second most jerseys sold, and I think that's because it's the market of Chicago and everybody knew it was coming, but that's the Caleb Williams jersey, which we will discuss when we hit the draft.
Absolutely. But for now, we will move it to what's becoming one of your favorites here and what's one of my favorites here in the house that happens, Formula One. We just got through an exciting Chinese Grand Prix weekend.
Yeah, it was
Sprint
really cool.
was better than the race, but I thought the race was still pretty good itself.
The race was pretty good. You know what it was, too, is like one of the things I'm learning about is like, I don't know what's going to happen in Miami. It's their first North American stopover. But you got to realize all these places around the world, the stuff that these cars go over is not all the same.
No.
So I'm really understanding the concept of tire management. You know what I mean?
Oh, huge in F1.
Oh,
the whole middle section of the race is really all tire management.
And not only that, it's like, especially in a track like this Chinese
Shanghai.
Yeah, it's a little rough run thing. It's ripping tires up, 10 laps, get them off, or whatever it is they were doing. Or I don't know the exact number, but I was truly fascinated because they had a little grandma's like the soft, hard, medium, fast, slow, like it's like buying shoes or getting a pizza. You know what I mean? And that's an intricate part of what goes on in F1. I was totally fascinated. I was telling people what I really liked about it when it's got that little, it's like almost a fork in the road. And when you come out of that fork in the road, you got lots of room to pass. I think that's the kind of tracks I'm liking most. You know what I mean? Instead of those old street tracks where it's really hard to pass and it gets tight. But like, that corner in China, and they haven't raced there since 2019.
Yep.
So my last 2 years of looking at things, I've never seen this track before. But you know which corner I'm talking about? That little chicane, you come around the corner, boom, wide open. I think that's cool. And here's what really I thought was weird, okay? You got the sprint. Of course, Max won. Hamilton was in second and Perez. Those guys were at the top. Okay, I'm cool. Then you have a pole position, and you have Max Perez and Alonso. And then you have the race, and it's Max Perez and Lando Norris.
Was second,
Yeah, like I go, and just the circumstances with which things are happening. You know what I mean? In the whole race. And you know what? I hope nobody thinks it's getting boring because Max is kicking everybody's ass.
There might be a few people.
I have heard that little rumbling, but there's little things that go on like, okay, what's his name? Lewis Hamilton, who came in second in the sprint. You thought he was going to give everybody a run in the Mercedes. Screws up the qualifying.
Nah, but like he was complaining about his car setup. I think they messed up with him there.
Whatever went on, still the guy got points for Mercedes. He went from 18 to 8?
Yeah.
It was insane.
Oh, great race still.
Yeah, he did that. I don't exactly know how that fell down, but I mean, he got unexpected points for the team. You're coming in 18, nobody expecting you to get anything. And I felt bad because Alonso fell down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I was hoping he'd get a podium. But this is Lando Norris's, second podium of the year, right?
It is.
And they're tough to come by.
Yeah, second podium this year.
And podiums are hard to come by this year. Ask anybody that isn't Red Bull.
This year and last year.
You know what I mean? But things, I've got to remember, little things happen in the race that intrigue me. Like, suddenly, Ferrari was 4th and 5th.
Yep.
Like, they weren't out of it, so they collected their constructor points because I think they're really thinking about, 25 years?
2026.
Everybody's talking about the changing in the engineering. I'm going, I hope I'm educated more to understand all of that, what's going on. But so far, so good.
So far, so good.
Yep.
Some of the big news coming out of F1 this week, Adrian Newey is going to be leaving Red Bull.
I guess that you know what you know what it is. I think what's being held up is there's the winning, but as you call it, Newey's a big guy. Where's he going to go?
Either Ferrari or Aston Martin, I would bet.
Yeah, that's a big guy. That's Max's guy too.
Not really. He's a Helmut Marko guy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So well, I think like is it a little chink in the armor there maybe?
A little bit more than a chink in the armor, I'd say.
That's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
too. But I mean, what's he gonna do? He's gonna finish out the year, right? Is that the deal?
I don't know. It's been kind of vague. So there's might be something in his contract that prevents him from going to another team in time to start up the next regulation set. So we'll see.
Yeah, well,
Maybe by 2030 though, he'll be.
but he's getting old too, though. He's not getting any younger. Just
We'll see.
Like that. I hope there. I hope he lives forever and he gets to get his opportunity to do that. Anyways, the next race is in Miami, correct?
Yes. Well, before we get to that though, Nico Hulkenberg also going to be going to Sauber Audi next year. There had been rumors of that since I guess he is the biggest German driver on the grid, so I guess that does make sense. A great qualifying driver when it comes to the race. I can't think of a more unlucky driver than Nico Hulkenberg, but I hope things work out for him at Sauber and later Audi.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I've seen him have some good qualifying too, but he disappears on the race. I always see him at 16.
Mind you, he's in a Haas right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. You got to give his car. I guess you maneuver it better when there's nobody out there. I don't know, but
he's getting points.
Oh yeah. He's definitely. I don't think they're going to be anywhere at the end of the year, but
I mean, they could be higher than their main competition. So
we'll see.
Williams and Sauber and
yes.
Yeah, but and that leaves whatever 2 empty seats now for Haas. So that could mean that Magnussen might have a better chance of coming back next year. I think Ollie Behrman is going to be a front runner for one of those seats. The guy who drove for Ferrari in place of Sainz. I think he's a front runner for that position. But we're going to see. Silly season marches on.
I agree. Just the thing I want to say is that I think McLaren is very quietly rising up a little more than I expected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a couple of years ago, I wasn't really looking in when I was trying to discover this stuff. I knew McLaren was, but I've been noticing, and this year something's going on. They got good drivers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And suddenly, like I said, Lando got another thing, and
they had great pace this past weekend.
They definitely did. So it's you in Miami, correct?
See you in Miami with Ferrari wearing light blue.
What is it? Miami Vice will never go away, eh?
I guess it's a Miami Vice. True.
Oh, that's what it's from. That'll never go away. I'm glad you didn't see that phenomenon. There's a lot of stupid things in the 80s that went down that everyone think is still cool, but so is frozen shit. You know what I mean? But this Miami Vice thing, I still don't. It's like the Miami Heat does it. They all do it.
I love those Miami Vice uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
That they do.
Okay, see, that's why I'm a grumpy old man. I'll take that back. Don Johnson and what's his name? The brother. You know, the detective guys.
Yeah.
Cool show, cool music. Jan Hammer was in on it. That's the best thing, I think. But anyways, they're going to be wearing that. It has to be because of they're in Miami.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sky blue. And,
yeah. All that garbage. Okay.
We'll move this on to the PWHL. Toronto, Montreal selling a record for women's hockey. 21,105 in the stands to see Toronto beat Montreal in overtime. Toronto currently first in the standings with 2 games left to go.
I think that's amazing for women's freaking hockey, man. I was thinking, was it 18-5, 19, no, 21? But again, remember this, people. It's the quality of the game that you got. It was a great hockey game, solid. It just seems to me, though, I mean, we're never going to have the pace. It's boys and girls, but they seem, we're a league that does not supposed to hit. There seems to be a lot of incidental shit going on in a good way.
Sure.
I don't want to take that out of the game. You know what I mean? It creates that intensity. You know, by the last 10 minutes of the third period, like I only did, to be honest with you, I only just clued in, it's the third period. Click it on, and I actually PVR'd it because I was going to walk my dog, and I came home and watched it. It was fun. It was good to watch. Good hockey's good hockey. Agreed?
Absolutely.
You know? I think the scheduling's weird, though.
How so?
2 games left. Now we're going to jump right into playoffs, but I guess that's going to happen.
Well, they had 5 games left. They've already played 3 games since the World Championship break.
It just seems that it's gone by pretty quickly. So that means the playoffs will be coming about mid-May, right?
Sooner maybe. I think this is like basically the last week.
Oh yeah, that's right. Good luck to the league, and I hope the marketing gets better. Give yourself some names. Get a logo. You know what I mean?
I think next season that's coming.
Yeah, because you know what I mean? I think they're losing opportunities here to, like, what do you buy at the merch stand? You know what I mean? That's money lost.
Yeah.
With 21.5 at the Bell Center to see the girls. Wow. Damn cool. Good for them. Very good for them.
We'll move this on to the NFL draft. No surprise, 1, 2, 3, quarterback, but also going 8, 10, and 12 as well. So that's 6 quarterbacks in the top 12. I think that's the big news of the day. And also a record of offensive players taken in the first round.
Especially with linemen, okay? Yeah, but first and foremost.
Wide receivers too.
Oh, yeah, it was a good score. But first and foremost, everybody should know, if they don't know now, and I'm representing today, as you can say, Mr. Milani, Detroit City showed out huge for this draft. We've seen them in other cities too. They've done a good job, but I don't know. There was not, and I hate to be biased. Everyone's going to say, Cruzy, you're saying that because you're a Lions guy. No, if you guys are going to say or you're going to hear what I'm saying now and you watch the draft, it was damn cool. Right down to the Motown music, the Eminem with Goodell, commercials leading up to the draft, coming out on stage with Eminem, Goodell, Barry coming out, Megatron, the boys, the Jared Goff chant, and the crowd itself and the energy. I just want to say that I'm proud to be associated with the One Pride crew in Detroit City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought it was... first thing I want to say, I want to blow my own horn. If you remember on the show, I say there is a certain amount of manipulation goes on in the draft, do we not? So I'm going to say that now I am the mock draft expert, me, Cruz. I am now the expert. I did going to tell you the one that caught me off guard first, but what did we going to say? Caleb Williams going to go number 1. Gee, I'm a smart motherfucker, aren't I?
Caleb Williams
number 1. Jaden Daniels went number 2. Oh, I'm even smarter, motherfucker, okay?
The Patriots take Drake May, my boy.
There you go, which is good for you. I hope you give him time to get developed there, because that's a good pick. I think that's going to be a really good pick. But how many times we say that? It would appear to be that. Now, Arizona did...
I know, you just go by the scouting report, and I'm like, I read all 3, and I'm like, I want Drake May.
Oh, yeah, I would be too. 3. Yeah. Especially if you'd have seen him the year before. His tape's good. I think you guys are lucky to get him. Everybody's happy to get him.
Agreed.
Bottom line is, like you said, you text me along the way. If Arizona didn't take Marvin Harrison, because once upon a time, he would have been the first guy off the board. But quarterbacks always go first. But he went number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to just go back. If you check the show and talk about the mock draft master, his name is Cruz, I said, here's how these things get manipulated. Suddenly you got a guy with the LA Chargers. He's got a quarterback. He likes to be a power team. You start with an old line. What did I say? Somehow, some way, who will fall into Jim Harbaugh's lap?
Joe Alt.
Thank you very much. And number 5, I was going to bet my balls, my dog, my house, the farm. I was betting the world and all of existence that was going to happen at number 5 pick. Does that make me a mock draft expert? How long ago did I say that in the show?
A few weeks ago.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So I don't know where the expertise comes in. I'm just looking up and going, wow. One that caught me off guard is when they got to number 8 and they just signed.
Oh,
and that
surprised a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, I jumped out of my chair. I went, whoa, wait, huh? Because Buddy got drafted after him, who got a lot of press. Who was the quarterback that got drafted right after him?
Bo Nix?
Yeah, Bo Nix. I thought Bo Nix might go before. So Denver made a smart move taking...
Well,
J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy was the next quarterback taken, which a lot of people called that Minnesota would trade up. I didn't think they'd trade up one spot. Which, by the way, whenever that happens, like, you got fleeced.
Well, you don't know, because maybe the team's going to trade
the Jets were going to draft him? Come
on.
Oh,
of course they weren't. But, I mean, maybe the Jets were threatening to give the pick to somebody else. I gave up a 4th and a 5th this year. And they're a pretty young team. If you're going to give it up, you give it up this year, because now that's over with. But look who you got. I think Bo Nix is going to be a great quarterback. But taking Michael Penix.
Well, Bo Nix got taken by the Broncos.
I mean, the Broncos, 12. Yeah. But I'm saying I thought that was from the Oregon guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, from Oregon. I was shocked when I seen whatchamacallit took, because they just signed Kirk Cousins.
He was not happy, apparently.
Oh, it was kind of weird. But the bottom line is, what do you do? Because they said this guy should take a year to learn. Or what they're going to do is they're going to see how Kirk does, because after the second year of that contract, they can buy him out. They're done. No cap hit. They've
guaranteed money's all paid out.
Is all paid out. Let's get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that could give that guy a chance to learn. So maybe they stole the guy. Another thing that I thought was a great pick is that And I would have taken him higher because that Brock Bowers guy,
Oh,
tight
yeah.
end, he's a Raider. When I seen, what? The Raiders got this guy? I bet he's got a Raider tattoo
I
already.
thought the Falcons would be looking to draft a guy like that.
That's what I thought that would go to. And the guy's from Georgia.
Yeah,
so I was
exactly.
thinking like my mock draft expertise was going to fall into place and say, oh, this is a gimme. They're taking Atlanta. I know who they're taking. They're taking who? Michael Penix from
Did you
Washington.
see the video from their draft party in Atlanta?
No.
Oh, a bunch of upset fans.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, who do they want? I think they wanted that Brock Bowers
I
guy.
bet you they did too.
Yeah, a Georgia boy. Come on, what did you want? I thought that was kind of weird. I thought,
Giants drafting Malik Neighbors, I thought was a great pick.
what's that?
Malik Neighbors,
Oh,
the LSU running
yes.
back or wide receiver.
Oh, I
excuse me.
thought that was good too. I thought there was a lot of cool little picks. Like, let's just say here, like, where am I got this down here? Yeah, I really like the Bo Nix take because he's also got Sean Payton is a quarterback guru. Remember that? Mm-hmm. So maybe this is the reroute. And this is also the time where, with the jump in the salary cap, and you got this guy a year away, Sean Payton was only, like he said, it takes you about 3 years to get going, right? If you want to reshape a team like Denver. So you got to see there is some, and you see other teams, because you know who the players are. Mm-hmm. Just like now that we've seen Harbaugh taking that old lineman. That's Harbaugh 101. You know what I mean? So here we go. I thought the Raiders did really good. I'm a Michigan guy through and through. My heart pours Wolverines. I'm hoping J.J. McCarthy is better than projected because I don't see it personally. I really don't. He was behind the pro set. It was a size because let's go back to how many years that we draft a bag load of quarterbacks and how many are in the league 5 years. We're not going to beat that dead horse today.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But, Steven, I got to call you out for saying that you wanted J.J. McCarthy on the Patriots.
Oh, if you guys had taken him there, I would have said, oh, gee, give me some of that. That's indica.
The TVs would have gotten thrown out the window.
Oh, I would have called that indica, not sativa. That shit put you to sleep, didn't it? I want to shout out to the Detroit Lions because we were smart, too. We were very quietly taking what's his name? Terrian Arnold.
Yep, Alabama.
Alabama pedigree. He's a cornerback, and he is a ball hog. Led the SEC in interceptions. And look at the guys he had to go against. All those great wide receivers from going from LSU. The guys coming from LSU and who else is it? From Georgia. He had to cover the LSU guys. He had to cover the Georgia guys. And I forget the other big school that had wide receivers. I think it was Oklahoma. So this guy is battle tested. And we got him at the 28th pick? Ooh,
24th.
24th pick? Very, very happy at 2 picks in the first round. But anyway,
second cornerback taken.
Yep. And I'm glad that instead of like we did a couple years ago, one of our wasted picks, they talk about our last picks. They always show it.
Yeah.
What was your last picks? And our 5th year ago was Jeff Okudah. Highest drafted cornerback in the history of the game. What is he? He's a backup on Philly or is he ever going to have a contract this year?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Detroit let him go before they had to pay the next level. You got to pay the next level. No, too small, not good. Number 7. And with all our great drafts, imagine the piece we could have had with that guy too. Oh, well, I thought the draft was fun. I just watched the first round. I'm going to take a look today.
Rounds 4 through 7 today?
Yeah, I'm going to take a look, but I haven't got time to be
sitting down watching the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm picking up the girls today, so that's very important.
All right. And also, NFL, they've made it known that the players can wear the Guardian caps during the game.
What do you think about that?
I don't mind. Those help prevent concussions, do they not?
I'm going to say anything that's going to be for player safety, regardless of the hypocrisy we see at times in the ludicrous attempts that they try to tell us that they're doing it. If that's going to save your hog and noggin, put it on, buddy. I want you to play 10 years. I don't want you to play 5. And I want you to be able to go with your grandchildren. Is that how we should look at it?
Absolutely.
You think? There you go. Good draft, though.
Yep.
And how many days till now? We got camp in June. Time's going quick, people. It's already the end of April.
Well, July, isn't it, camp?
No, they had a voluntary mini camp last week. Okay, remember Aaron Rodgers coming in, straight from Athabasca or whatever. And now they have the mandatory camp because you got to bring all your draftees in to meet the team the first time. So that's in June. This is the end of May. Then they have that we got to sit down and study camp in July. And guess what? We are 3 months away from. What is it? April, May, June, July. Oh, damn. We're like 10 weeks away from training camp in the NFL.
We're always counting down to the NFL on the house that happens.
The season that never ends. Oh, by the way, I only seen part of it. We would be remiss if we didn't say I watched some segments. Belichick and McAfee on YouTube, they stole the show. Even though Rich Eisen and the boys on the Cast and NFL Network were ready, because Rich Eisen, I believe, is the best talking head in TV. He's amazing. Good. He's damn good. But McAfee with Belichick, and with his crew, it was yeah.
It sounds like Bill's going to be on Pat McAfee every Monday.
Or something. Yeah, he's going to come on and do some. I will be rushed to that. There's certain things you should watch during the week. Christopher Russo on Wednesday on First Take.
Disagree about him, but
I know. Well, I'm an old school. A lot of people don't like him, but I love Russo. Give me Russo. Give me Belichick coming on a Monday, and every day as long as I see Kornheiser and Wilbon. Does that make me old?
Not PK Subban on First Take.
Oh, him and Messier sometimes are awkward, aren't they?
Do you see Messier chasing Subban around with the Stanley Cup?
Yes, it was great. You know what I mean? I love that, but their chemistry's odd.
Yeah, I agree.
It's odd.
It's very weird.
Because you know what? Messier probably looks over, and those guys know what's going on behind closed doors. So there's different characters that have different perspectives on the different takes that they take during the time that they might have played in the NHL. Agreed? Sure. So, enough said, Cruz. Shut up. All things, civility and positivity. That could be the name of the show, too. But the temperature of them at the desk sometimes is weird.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Speaking of staying optimistic, we'll move it on to Major League Baseball. Our Toronto Blue Jays, a little bit of a rough series in Kansas City this week, losing 3 of 4. And then they lost a big one to the Dodgers last night.
Okay, can I just say one thing before we just start tearing into them now? Okay, we're going to...
Blue Jays back under 500.
Yes, okay, so let's just take a look around here. They keep talking about our pitching staff, which is like, in the majors, we're like 24th.
Yikes.
24th in the league, in the majors. That's not in the
Bassett
American
got
League.
roughed up big time last night.
What have I been telling you about Bassett? Ohtani hit him. He wasn't the same. He started noodling. He started dipping. He started throwing every pitch in the arsenal, whether they worked or not. And what was it? 7-0 after 3 and 60 pitches. Got to go home. But they let him stay out there because he's Bassett.
No, he only pitched 2 2/3.
Yeah, I couldn't even get to couldn't get to the 4th inning because he was rattled. You know what I mean? I'm really glad we got the Cuban guy up. What's his name again? I forget. I'm sorry, but he's holding his own. I'm going to tell you what's wrong with the Blue Jays right now, and it's pretty goddamn simple.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez. I like him a lot, even though they don't let him go 5. I don't know. Let's just discuss this, okay? If you want to be like a just above average productive type mofo in the Major League Baseball, you got to score 100 runs or maybe drive in 95 to 100, right? Which means if you're at this point in the season, you should be averaging about 15 RBIs right now.
Well, I look at more on base and slugging percentage. And
okay, then I'm going to get you there because it's just this is how ridiculous we are. First of all, the top 3 guys in our lineup, none of them they don't have 30 RBIs combined. None of these guys, the team averages 231 and they're all hitting less than 231. What are we hitting as a team in the majors? Oh, my God, I don't even want to say what it is. I'm glad they brought the kid up from the
229.
Yes, okay.
22nd in the majors.
In the majors, 29. In your
on base, we're middle of the pack, but slugging, we're 21st.
Brutal. Oh, and by the way, not only are we in the middle of the pack as a pitching team, which is supposed to be pitching and defense is our glory, aren't we top 3 in giving up dingers and souvenirs? Another reason why we seem to be having issues.
Tied for 28th in home runs allowed.
And home runs,
so bottom 3.
There you go. So now we're supposed to be winning on pitching and defense. Now let's discuss our defense. Kiermaier is going to be gone. How long? We're not sure. They're saying 10-day disabled. Sounds like one of those 60-day injuries, doesn't it? 45 days? Well, let's put it this way. I'd rather take half the defense that Barger kid's getting because you see the one that he got twisted on the other night? If Varsho and Kiermaier are out there, that ball's caught.
Sure.
Kid got a little confused his first night at the Sky Dome, all the people yelling at him, going Buffalo to Sky Dome. That's kind of, McDonald's to the keg kind of deal, isn't it? I don't know. But in any event, I'd rather have him out there because the kid's got a good approach at the plate. Clement's got a better approach at the plate. Even Schneider, who's people are getting bashed because I don't know why they're bashing the guy. But what happens is...
No, he's been good.
I think so, too. The dichotomy of the defense is sometimes suspect because you're putting guys in there that you go, ooh, are we getting comfortable? And I'm going to say this, beat this dead horse all year long. Bo Bichette is not a frontline shortstop.
No.
It's really starting to show this year. He's got the nagging injuries. How many times has he thrown Vladdy off the bag?
A few times.
More than twice. And how many times he gets to the hole, but he can't get up with the ball?
Happens a lot. We've seen this last few years with Bo. It's the same story.
Okay, so at that
and
time,
now he doesn't have the bat to go with it. So
okay, there you go. So now
216
it's
average,
brutal.
274 on base, 320 slugging, which might be the worst of all.
Oh, and his twin Vladdy. Why don't you look at his? Are they much better?
No, of course not.
They're brutal. That's what. And we got Justin Turner in, and that guy's our best hitter. And he was just supposed to complement the lineup. Come on.
We got to give props to Varsho.
Okay, here's the deal. No matter what. Okay, BOH. Are you out there guessing BOH? And I'm going to say this.
We'll
right
say
now.
with 30 home runs, you might be on the money there. 30 stolen bases.
Okay, so I'm going to tell him this even one more time, okay? I don't care what you say. This is still always be a bad trade unless Varsho wins an MVP. It's always this is a bad trade. I don't care what you're saying. Now, is Varsho having a great run right now, and he's taking advantage of the porch at the Dome? Finally, maybe you go, it takes a year to get comfortable. That's okay. This has only been about a 10-game stretch. Look at the first 10 he played. Come on, all right? Now, look at him in the last 2 or 3 games. Well, we're giving him a chance because I don't even know how Schneider's freaking doing the lineup.
Is the lineup?
Okay,
yeah.
He didn't give Schneider a chance back
Again,
in the lineup.
is it Schneider doing the lineup or is it the boys upstairs?
Okay, Aikens and Shapiro, I will point it out to you off the air because we try to stay positive about the Toronto Blue Jays, but 40 executives did a poll on the worst management in baseball, and Shapiro and Atkins came up, 85% of the time. That's pretty ruthless. That's other executives. That's not me and you. That's people that are in the game going, what the hell? Oh, it's the baseball experience. The experience of what? Telling us that Manoah's on his way? That Tiedemann's not ready? What are you telling us? Because we should be better as a pitching staff. We made decisions on when we put the right guy in, right or not, even though, look at Swanson's looking shaky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we put him into a high leverage situation right off the bat, cost us a win. We could have that win back, and we would put Jaime Garcia in.
Jimmy Garcia.
Jimmy Garcia.
I don't know. The bullpen is like the least of my concerns right now. It's starting pitching and hitting.
The hitting. And even, you know what I'm saying?
Defense to an extent.
Only because there's certain times when the defense looks really good, but nobody's hitting in that lineup. Then we make the
you could put like Kiner Falefa out there, but like he's not going to hit.
You're going to get nothing. No, but sometimes we need him because he balances, especially for Barrios, like the ground ball pitcher guys. I understand it, but and it's pitching and defense. My Sparky Anderson lament. Got to win 20 before you lose 20. Blah, 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 blah,
We're
blah.
playing hopscotch or
jump
rope with that game.
Oh, are we not? And I'm not liking it. And like you're saying now, every time a pitcher's coming back, Bass is 35. Not a power pitcher. I still think he's going to be fine. I think he's still going to give us about 200 innings.
Yeah.
But how many times I tell you, an incident happens with this guy, he goes off the rails. Okay? Okay, you played around with Ohtani. By the time Ohtani come back, you're loading up the bases. Guys hitting it down the lanes. Guys get more. What did you give up last? How many dingers we gave up last night? 3?
Oh, I think so.
Come on.
He gave up... it doesn't say.
He gave up at least 2, I'm sure. But it puts all the guys on the field with
He gave up 2, yeah.
Gave up 2, and somebody else gave up 1.
Richards
later.
gave up 1.
Okay, but anyways, it puts your defense back on its heels anyway. See, you lost the game. I turned it off after third inning. I said, I'll go and watch.
Who needs this?
Yeah, I'll watch the Leaf game again from the other night on the extra screen. You know what I mean?
So I want to ask you: Is
Sure.
Ricky Romero is Alex Manoah Ricky Romero 2.0?
Since you phrased that, I'm going to go, that's tough. I think Romero had a longer run because Romero...
But he only had that one really good season if you look at it.
No, the rookie year when he was...
Sure.
Okay, because he was reliever, starter. Then he had the next year where he started a bunch of games and he won 14. And then he won 14 again, so they gave him the contract. Manoah ain't close to no contract. But so, is it the same... In context of like we thought we had a guy.
Yeah, and that one spectacular season, and then that's it.
They're off the rails, okay? You know what I mean? And Manoah's got the trail because his rookie season was pretty damn good. His second year was Cy Young nominated, and now guess what? He could be in the recycle bin. I heard he's down in Buffalo.
They keep showing his stats from Buffalo, and you're like, oh, come on, buddy. What, 3 innings, 7 earned runs like every time? It's like
can't get the ball across the plate. And when he does, it's a batting practice pitch. Guys are sitting back. You know what's weird about the guy is he's still got his velocity. He just doesn't have his location.
The placement's gone, yeah.
Yeah, and Ricky Romero wasn't like that. Ricky Romero lost his mind. Okay? So let's do the correlation.
You don't think there's an element of that here?
I think that I'm going to keep my honest thing, and I hate to say this, and anybody out there that remembers the Ricky Romero, and I know lots of people that worked down at the Sky Dome at the time. Manoah's is physical. Ricky Romero's is between his ears. If you remember at the time.
I think there's a mental element here with Manoah.
Perhaps too, but even more, at the time, and it's been well documented, did you know Ricky Romero's girlfriend when he signed that big contract?
I don't think we should go here.
Okay, she was on the way. She wasn't there yet, but she was an influencer or starting beginning of all of that stuff. Okay, I'm just saying that.
What does that have to do with anything?
She told Ricky that perhaps maybe she should see a better athlete, and Ricky was never the same. Do the timeline, check it out. And it's a horrible thing to say, and I don't want to be any kind of those three-letter words on that show. That's horrible. And that may be a rumbling, but if anyone wants to call me out on the Ricky Romero thing, check the timeline. Really, really weird. He got weird. Brought it to the mound, and he disappeared. You know how much I loved Ricky Romero? I came this close to getting a jersey. I love that guy. Oh, absolutely. I seen him pitch live about 3 times. He just had something, and it went away. Where did it go? Wasn't physical. He didn't go in the IL. It was between his head. I think Manoah is more physical just because of the fact that he's still got his 97 miles coming down the plate. He's like the Martin Sheen guy. Can't get it across the plate. What good is he?
That's a mental thing, though, isn't it?
I think it's a mechanical thing.
Because he does have the velocity.
It's a mechanical thing a lot of times, that, too, is mechanical. You know, maybe he lost too much weight.
I think that could be an issue, too.
You know what I mean? Like, ask CC Sabathia. We got that in our back
I know.
pocket.
I would argue that it has to be a mental component there, too, because you can't have, like, that, like, the high of highs where, you almost win the Cy Young. You fall down. That's going to take a toll on guys. Like, last year was a lost season. It's looking like this year could be a lost season, too. Come on. That's got to weigh on this guy.
I'm saying that your mental approach to the thing, I'm not going to deny. I'm hoping it's physical, but when you phrase it that way, how can I argue with you? And it's 2 years going. He's only 26, though, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that I watch a few baseball shows on MLB Network? You know when his name comes up? People are still kicking around at tires.
What do you mean kicking around tires?
Blue Jays. What are you doing with Manoah?
Oh, I see.
There's always someone out there that thinks they can fix you.
Always.
You know, because Ricky Romero got another chance at a camp.
Angels, I believe.
Was it the Angels? Yeah, because he's from out west, isn't he? He's from out there in that area. Mm-hmm. Like he's from East LA, I believe. So, he got a chance with the Angels. What happened? Blew up in spring training. Yep. So, I don't know. I would like Manoah to come on because we really liked him here at the show. But now that you ask me, Ricky Part 2?
Could be.
2.0, damn.
Either way, we wish our Blue Jays the best of luck in this weekend series against the Dodgers. And one thing I want to ask you, the AL Central, is this for real?
Before I say that, I'm going to get to you because I'm going to say something we got to understand first. Nobody plays each other as much in their division as they used to. Okay, so the first thing we got to look at is that White Sox crew, and everyone's going, well, look, they're playing the White Sox a lot. Actually, it's no more than we've got to play the Yankees and the Red Sox. I think we only play them one or more times than we play Chicago. It's weird how the schedule goes a couple more times. However, the difference is like, yes, you have to examine the strength of your division, considering that we got the Yankees and Boston are 1-2 in the majors in ERA. Okay, so we're going to have to play them a little bit more. As much as that is, that's 2 better teams than Chicago's ERA, which I think is the worst in the majors. So do I think they're fraudulent? No, not completely. The Guardians have turned it around. They've always been seen to do it. Detroit was considered a team that was on the rise, and Kansas City's prospects are now prospecting. Okay, is that a good way to look at it? Like they've drafted, look at how bad's Kansas City been. They're like a Baltimore now.
Yeah.
Or like the Houston did it before. People are starting, that model's starting to work. It started with Houston way back in the day, remember?
Yep.
They were shit for all those years.
Cubs did it too.
Now look at it. So it seems to be a model here, and away they come. I think that division is going to be good. At the end of the season, I do believe the American League East will be the strongest division in
baseball?
In baseball, if not the American League. Because we still don't know what's going to happen out west in the National League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that should be very interesting.
Yes, we got a ways to go. Remember, people, we're only got 20. What they played 20? Nobody's played 30 games yet.
Nope.
We're still looking for our magic 20-20. Come on, Toronto Blue Jays, 20-20.
But the Chicago White Sox, I got to say, I cannot believe how quickly they've fallen. 4-22 to start the season. This is a team a couple years ago we thought was pretty promising, and now What?
I'm willing to bet that if you looked at when we first started this show 2 years ago, our first baseball preview, because we started the show around what was happening, who we thought might make the playoffs. I bet you that Tim Anderson Chicago crew was mentioned.
Oh, 100%.
They were at that year like the New Jersey Devils of hockey this year. Everybody's picking them, and then look what happened. So I don't think they're going to be fraudulent. No, I think those three teams are going to go there. But, I mean, as compared to the American League East, look at Baltimore is very quietly moving away from the pack. And I think they're going to be the close every day, week, they're going to gain a game. You know, they say game a week.
Yep.
Gain a game a week. Well, I'm going to say let's wait till a month from now, and I bet you they're up a few games more because that team is solid. I think I made the mistake rushing the kid going 4 for 50 or whatever the poor kid was. Holiday?
Yeah.
Send him
They're
back
giving
up.
up T-shirts for like his first game. That's too much too soon.
Like you're talking about psychological in your head. I'm already a star. Haven't got a base hit. Ooh, be careful what you wish for. But I think the kid's going to make it in the long run.
I think so too.
I hope.
There's a lot of pressure to put on a guy early for no reason, I thought.
And I don't want to be negative about it, but Baltimore is definitely one of those teams that I'd put in the top 10 all time that I've disliked since a young boy. So if nothing happens with that team, do you think I care? Oh, by the way, what division are they in? Oh, by the way, what city do we live in? So I'm not wishing them any ill will, but I'm hoping they can stay close to the pack, which I don't think they will. Why don't we ever bring up the American League West? You don't think they're a little fraudulent?
Oh, I mean, why bring it up then? If they're like a lot of the teams there just aren't doing too well.
Okay, so that's what when you said the Central, I know the Central because
Central I brought it up because you're a Detroit guy.
100%, and I'm watching them very closely, and they're still only in third, but their record's better than the Jays because here's the last point I want to make about this. It's going to come down to games you're winning now. We're going to be looking for the same food as the Detroit Tigers, the same food as Kansas City, and perhaps the same food as somebody in the West Division, Texas or Houston, coming back. So we got to remember
Houston,
they're too far behind.
Yeah.
Like a Miami too, got too far behind, can't make it around.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm saying we can't play either. Baltimore's moving away from the pack. Boston and New York already have the best ERAs in baseball. And we're floundering around like a fish out of water.
Not looking good.
You know what I mean? And Tampa Bay's right with us, but we're still only, 3 games in the last column out of a playoff spot or 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season. We'll see.
Yes, thank God.
Just please, Blue Jay bats, wake up.
Don't be irrelevant. That's all we're asking.
We will move this along to the NBA.
We got one more thing. One more thing I thought it would be dismissive if we didn't say this. What do you think about the Ohtani boos last night? How could we sled by without saying something about that? I thought it was apropos.
It's kind of predictable.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And do you hear Ohtani's response? Oh, I didn't know the fans responded like that. Do you know he's becoming a little bit more outspoken now that this gambling thing's come up, eh?
Yeah, sure.
Which I think is a good move in his part, especially from a PR point of view. And it's looking more and more like this guy just hosed him, but that's another story. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that we should every week now, we should go and look and say, what's the series of the week? Look around the league. I think next week we should have a feature for that because who's playing this weekend? Isn't San Francisco playing somebody interesting this week? But there's always, and I wish,
San Francisco is playing Pittsburgh this weekend.
Okay, it's not that. Who's Cleveland playing?
This weekend?
Who's Cleveland? Cleveland and Atlanta are playing, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, we should look at what's the series of the week or a weekend. That's a good series. They're 2 of the best teams in baseball. Because even though we are Toronto-centric, we just want to let everybody else what's going on in the rest of the world. More stats to come, and analytics can do what analytics does. Anyways, we're on to
NBA playoffs.
Oh my God, the NBA. Can we have a moment of silence, please, for Steph Curry? Well, we can't do it yet because they're still playing, so we'll do it next week.
Well, we already talked about Curry being eliminated, so.
His Olympic teammates are going to be able to practice with him very soon.
That's true. Kevin Durant, LeBron.
Yes. Okay, so now what you got to see is, you know what's happening right before our eyes in the playoffs if we go through each series? If you decide to build a team, which we Raptors did a few years ago, you got a chance at the championship and maybe get a ring. Golden State was originally a team that was built. That's why they had that long run, correct? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the bottom line is what I'm getting here now is the teams that are looking like they're going to do some damage are the teams that are built. Look at Ant-Man in Minnesota. It's taking time. They've drafted. Okay, they traded for Gobert. OKC. drafted, built team.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Indiana, drafted, great team. Made a nice trade to go from there. What's your take on some of the NBA playoffs so far?
You want to just move this east to west? Just go series by series? Boston, Miami, Heat steal game 2. I think we might have a series now.
I doubt it. They scored 23 threes, the Heat. How many times are you going to do that? And you know what happened?
But they're going back to Miami now. What if they split those games?
Over in 5, 6 at the most.
Really? Okay.
I think this is really going to be a wake-up call because you know what happened when they were sinking those 23 threes, it was one of those games where it was like haymakers flying. And guess what? Boston missed theirs. When I get to the other series, I'll explain what you should do.
Boston's kind of becoming a little bit of playoff chokers here, so you don't think there's an element of them?
I have no reason. If they do, this is the biggest choke job of the 2020s of any sport. Except maybe for Purdue losing in the first round to a 16 team in the March Madness. But this will be the worst. This Boston team should go to the finals. When I'm looking at what's going on in the East, there's nobody really in their way. If they
Well,
like,
you know who I think's gonna?
we're going to get to that. But the bottom line is, Boston shoots too many threes too. They forget to go into the paint. They got
exactly
the team,
my point.
They got the defense. They added Holiday. They added Porzingis. That game was a joke.
How many times have we seen the Tatum Brown Celtics beat themselves?
Oh, I don't have enough fingers on one
I'm just saying
hand.
the door's open again.
No, maybe in another round. Maybe in another round where a team's a little bit more tighter than they are. But so okay, then because we're not going to talk about these series forever because we'd be here for a million years. However, I'm going to say it this much: I think that was an anomaly. They don't have Jimmy Butler. They got what's his name? The guy in the middle. I never say his name right. Adebayo playing great. Hero's throwing the ball down in a
Adebayo.
Adebayo, yeah. He's a great leader. He's proven to be a greater leader than we've had than you really realize because you got Jimmy Butler there and the other crew. The kid that's the freshman from UCLA, he's playing his ass off, but they just not deep enough. Boston runs deep with that white guy and Porzingis, Holiday, Brown, Horford, just name it. So if they lose, this be a catastrophe. But guess
Absolutely.
what? I hope they do.
I'd
be a happy camper. I have no problem with the Boston Celtics because you know ever that weird team and you kind of like a player because you like a player but he always plays for the wrong team. Like there's something about Jason Tatum. I like his game, but he played for Duke and now he plays for the Celtics. So how do you really
It's a bad combo.
I like the guy. You know what I mean? So if they lose, my heart bleeds the proverbial purple piss. Mm-hmm. What's the next series going to look at?
New York Knicks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. It took a monumental performance by Embiid to take game 3. I still think the Sixers are in trouble.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think
the Knicks take game 4 tomorrow.
Do you really? Okay, I'm not sure about that, but this is the closest I've seen to this is the premier dogfight in the first round. This is old school, I-95, kill each other. Because look at the scores. The scores have been a little bit
close.
Low. They've been all been close. But, I mean, Embiid, that like to score that many. So you know what it is?
50-point game, in case you don't know.
Oh, yes. But the Knicks D is solid. Who else scored except for him? Tyrese Maxey's got to show a little bit more in this. The guy that's killing that's really impressing me is that Kyle Lowry's kind of like the Marshawn, I hate to say it, of the Phillies. Have you seen him out there? He's sneaky, dirty, stealing, scrapping, because he knows how to win a championship. But if that crew from New York had Julius Randle, this would be over. And this Brunson Anobi combo, and now that Markin Robinson's back, and the Italian guy, what did I say his name, Vincenzo, shooting bombs. This game's going 7. You still think Philly's going to win?
The Knicks are going to win.
I mean, I think the Knicks are going to win too, but I think it might go 7. It looks so far.
Oh, you're changing your mind now.
Yes, because I thought Philly would do it till you see him now, but I'm looking and I have to say no. The Knicks are going to pull it out, and I think it's going to be a homer. You think the Knicks are going to win today?
I think there's a good chance, or tomorrow. I think they could win Game 4.
Oh, I think they could win any game because look at Philly almost scored one in the Gardens.
Yep.
They went cold in the last 3 minutes, and you see what Brunson made that crazy shot.
Oh yeah. That's game.
Oh, do you see New York City become New York City? Unbelievable. But I'm thinking now that, and another thing is, when Embiid, what's he going to have left? The guy's still beat up.
Yep.
So he's going to have to take a game off, which could be to your advantage because they should have won that one, especially game 1. They let game 1 slip between their fingers. We'll see. I'm still saying it looks like I'm going to have to be jump the fence and stick with the Knicks. Next.
Milwaukee versus Indiana. I said Milwaukee would go up 3-1. They might not even do that. Down 2-1 already.
They're done like dinner. Done. First of all, here's the weirdest thing about that series, and it just blows my mind. I made some notes here about it, okay? First of all, without Giannis, they're going nowhere, and Giannis isn't going to come back, okay? This combination of Halliburton and Siakam has turned out dynamite. You see the scoring Siakam's gotten?
Yep.
Now, we know all about Siakam because he's in Toronto. He's a great Robin. Well, he's returned to being Robin, and the best one maybe in these playoffs. He's had huge games, and of course, Siakam can play defense. So they trap Dame. So Dame's only got points, but what are the rest of the guys doing? Bobby Portis is doing okay. Middleton, but they lost Grayson Allen, and they lost Drew Holiday. Mm-hmm. So they're not playing the same defense. What was it? The other thing that it was really what happens is the Pacers are so relentless on running the ball and scoring that without Giannis to slow down that defensive wise, I think Indiana's going to run them off the court. Did I pick Indiana to win this series?
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah, well, it's things there. And after last night when they mowed them down, I expect to see Indiana see you next round. And I don't know how many games it's going to go, which is going to be, we're going to talk about the colossal failures. This is colossal failure number 1, Milwaukee Bucks. And do they bring back Doc Rivers?
I wouldn't, but
we're going to see what's going to happen. But I'm telling you, after last night, like Dame did everything he could. Dame's Achilles is acting up. So he's been on fourth quarter. He couldn't stay out. They had to sit him down for a while. Everything spells Milwaukee. Have you made your tickets? Where are you going? Aruba, Antigua, Turks and Caicos? You know what I mean?
And out to Europe,
wherever you're going to go. You're going to be going there soon.
Next up, Cleveland against Orlando.
Wow.
The games have not been as tight as I thought they would be, but the home team has taken each game. Orlando, a huge 38-point win in Game 3, back in action this afternoon. If a team takes a road game in this series, that could be it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Or it'll go 7 and homers will stay. But no, Cleveland's too good. It was just another one of those games, Panchero in Game 3. Banchero. He played great, and so did the support crew. They just had a great game. And what happened is one of those things, I keep saying it, but I watch a lot of games, people. Watch what teams do sometimes, except the teams that are going to win it all, because they're too smart to do that, is what happens, they try to catch up with the 3 ball. And when you miss 3 or 4 and the transition games go the other way, all of a sudden you're down by 12. What was Game 3? Cleveland lost by what, 15? What's the score?
Game 3, they lost by 38.
Whatever it was, 300. It was a bad game. They were there and they tried to make the comeback with the 3s, so they just compounded on it. But I think the coaching's too good. Mobley and Jared Allen will block down the middle. I think this game goes 6. I'm thinking 6. I'm still sticking with Cleveland.
With that?
I'm sticking with it. But God bless Orlando. They're showing, they're growing up in front of us.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Another team that got built, mostly from draft choices. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Moving on to the West, OKC against New Orleans. OKC's up 2-0, taking both their games at home. Game 2 was a complete blowout, winning by 32 points. They barely got through Game 1, but still looks like the Pelicans are going to be in trouble without Zion, despite Snoopy Cool Brandon Ingram.
Oh, I love that guy. Top 5 player in the league, and I can't even keep him on my fantasy team. I'm in the keeper league.
Ooh.
I can't keep him. You know why? I got to keep Wemba, John, Shea.
That's it.
What do you got? Then I got Ingram. I'll draft him quickly. I would like to see Zion out there because I'm going to preach this every time we get the opportunity. We do this podcast and we love sports because why? We love the highest level of competition. We should get T-shirts that say that.
Sure.
Highest level of competition. Zion being out there, not out there, means we are missing something in the competition level. I still think that OKC would beat them, but who would be in the middle? It'd be a great battle with him and Holmgren because Holmgren's playing amazing. Wonder what Wemba's thinking on the.
Do you think they put Holmgren on him?
Yes, but earlier.
Then who do you put on Valanciunas?
What's that?
Then who do you put on Valanciunas?
That's a good question, isn't it?
I think they'd stick Holmgren on him.
That's true too, but they got that other guy, not Dort, but the other guy, that thick guy. He's only 6'6", 6'7", but he bodies up well. You know what I mean? And they got
Williams.
The Williams. He bodies up pretty good.
Yeah, they'd probably put him on Zion.
Yeah, but you know what it is Zion's inside and out. It's like Holmgren's great at switching for a big man. Now that they teach that, okay, JJ Redick, I'll give you an ounce of credit.
Who might be a head coach next year.
And then what's he going to be after that? President of the United States? Stop it. The guy, I don't know. I like Doris Burke better. That's another story. In any event, what I'm saying is a game would be way better with Zion. But they could go back to the Crescent City and let's see what happened. Because game 1 was close. But I think as a complete team, OKC, especially transition defense, Because people forget, Shea plays D. What's he got? Almost 2 steals a night?
Sure.
He's always in the lane blocking.
I think they steal at least one of the 2 games in New Orleans.
Ooh, the
Thunder, yeah.
I think they do too. Over 5, maybe 6. That series is going to be over.
Could be a sweep. I wouldn't be shocked at this point.
I'm hoping it's not enough for Ingram. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of a drag because you're that close. They got McCollum out there too.
Yep.
So you know what I mean? And Valanciunas, I just think that the team chemistry and the variety of scoring, they don't have that scoring that Zion would make such a huge difference. You know that.
Yeah.
But any event, I hope he gets back, but it's sounding like it's not.
Denver Nuggets and LA Lakers.
Bye.
How you feeling, Cruz?
Bye.
About your prediction?
Bye. Oh, by the way, this is 2024. I thought I'd be a smart ass and go out on a limb. I'm going to promise.
After talking up Denver all year.
Exactly.
Oh,
now I'm going to I stood in the corner already for 10 minutes. Okay, I already stood in the corner. First of all, you got to admit this. The track meet at the end of game 1 and game 2, altitude probably got those big boys on the Lakers because they ran out of gas. The thing is that the one game when game 2, when LeBron threw up that 3, a veteran throwing up a 3 with 17 seconds on the clock, and Jamal Murray, who has got ice in his veins right here from Kitchener, Ontario in Canada, what a game winner, eh?
Fantastic.
Loved it. I
got up off my seat and cheered.
Oh, didn't we all? We were going like that. I'm thinking Olympics. Not only that, is that after that they were talking on one of the shows, and word around the league, and I don't understand this because I don't feel this way, but word around the campfire, if you talk to the players, they think Jamal Murray is one of the most underrated players in the league. I think he's a star. I think that bad injury got him off the thing, but look he's won a ring. Oh, he's the best Robin. Sorry, Siakam. You're the second best Robin. Murray's the best. And did you see what happened now? That's what I want to get at.
I think there might be better Robins than Siakam. But
okay, but good point. But you know what I'm going to point out here? Okay, the Lakers are up 15 in one game and 20 in another. And I know all the Jordan-heirs are going to point this out. Jordan was winning 20 in the second half. Guess what? He's undefeated in the playoffs. Jordan goes up 20.
And how many games is this that the Lakers have lost in a row to Denver?
Oh, my
11,
God.
12, 11, I think.
Whatever it is, LeBron has not got his ass kicked by the same team for this long, which is now going to put Jordan just a microscope or a scope ahead of the GOAT conversation, if you want to take that GOAT conversation that way.
Sure.
So let's just say this. LeBron, let your kid go to Duquesne, work on the movie project, tell AD to drink more water, stay stretching, see you can get in free agency because you're done. You're done. Bye. Thanks for coming out. No reason to talk about it anymore. Denver is the cream of the West.
Sweep again?
Oh, yeah. Bye. Want to do it? Why not do it? You know, I was going to use that word that you're going to have to edit. So I'm glad I didn't say it.
Yes, I'm glad too.
Okay, I almost slipped out of my mouth. But yeah.
Rhymes with grape?
Yeah, something like that. That's going to happen. And you know what? Are you going to feel sad?
No.
And they keep pushing it
I like
down.
Denver. Why would I want them to lose?
The Joker is the greatest. You know what I mean? Put him in more commercials.
I agree.
This guy.
Him and his ponies. Let's go for it.
And the way he talks, you know what he's got? He's like Arnold Light almost. You know that demeanor, like when Arnold's in those really bad movies where he could say those one-liners. But no, the Joker's great. But you got to remember this. Michael Porter Jr., as you were talking on the air. Aaron Gordon, he scored all the points to bring them back when they were down by 20. Gordon just went in the middle, and the guys on the bench. Denver's
Reggie
built
Jackson, yeah.
Yes, it's a very good team, which tells us to the next guy that we got to say to go home to, and he's a smoker too. So Durant, come up here to Canada. When you come to Carabana, you can come up early and check out the amount of cannabis stores that you like to discover. Come on up. You got lots of time because after the next game, you'll be doing the same.
Yeah, so Minnesota is up 3-0 on Phoenix. None of the 3 games have been particularly close.
Beating them like a drum. You know what I mean? Durant's playing his ass off. It doesn't matter because, you know what? He's still one of the greatest offensive players of all time. But the other guy's got to shoot too. And this Beal guy should be an embarrassment.
He's got to go if you're a Phoenix fan.
He drags him down. And where's Booker? Booker's the next Kobe. Where's this Booker guy? I remember, didn't he have to be on our top 5 bitches list?
Well, you definitely put him up there.
What's that? Okay. Now
he had a good night last night.
He did. He's been shooting decent all the time. I shouldn't say it, but when he doesn't quite get it on, Durant misses his shots. Like Durant, one game was like 5 for 17. Come
Yeah, it's not good.
on. That's, you're 5 for 17. Already had 3 fouls in the first quarter one game. It's been tough on them, but this Phoenix team is a mess. They really are. They're not going nowhere.
I didn't think they'd get swept, and that might happen.
I thought
tomorrow night.
I think I've got it here now. I was really believing. I had the Timberwolves in 7.
I said 6.
Yeah, and that's no way. It ain't getting. They ain't never. Say goodbye to the fans.
Yeah.
Better say, if they happen to win, say goodbye to the fans. This is over. And another thing.
If they win.
Durant wants to work on his golf game. Curry's a good golfer. They're all going to play in the Olympics. Durant, you got a tea time. Bye.
Is there good golfing in France?
Probably
oh, yeah.
Well, we'll get him over there. But you know what I mean? I'm glad that we talked about this on the other shows. We didn't care if these guys are gone. We got enough good teams, good players that I'm looking at every night. Like for the rest of the playoffs, who's going to be in the next round? We still got Joker. We still got Shea. We still got Ant-Man.
And we still got Kawhi, Doncic, and Kyrie. And probably the best first-round series we got so far. Dallas up 2-1 on the Clippers. They split the 2 games in L.A. Dallas taking Game 3 last night. Game 4 is going to be on tomorrow. Huge game for the Clippers. They got to win. Must-win game is a little bit of an overused term in sports, but this is a must-win.
So what's it right now? 2-1 Dallas.
2-1 Dallas.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what. I mean, we know this is the history of it. It's really, really sad. Kawhi's not Kawhi. Paul George has been terrible. When Westbrook comes on, he's been overplaying, okay? So let's give credit where credit is due. This Kyrie, Luka combo has inspired his team. Like they're dragged, come on, boys. And so you got the guy, what's his name? They got these crazy ass kids that I don't even know. And I was checking out their names. Where's it at? Oh, yeah, Clippers and Mavs. Look at these guys. They're secondary guys. Gafford, Washington. These guys are just animals, and they're young.
Yep.
So they've been drafted. And guess what? I hate Luka. Let's just cut to the chase here. Okay, Luka, you listening? I hate you. I hate everything about him. I hate the fact that he's fat. I hate the fact that he keeps yelling at the refs. I hate that he plays Olay defense. But I'm going to say this. His offensive game is second to nobody's. Let's cut to the chase. And then this guy, when he's got Kyrie open with him, and these three, do you see those jackrabbits he's got with him? They're doing all the defense, by the way.
Oh, I know.
They're covering up for Luka. Luka just walk up and down the court. He don't even run sometimes. He don't even run. Kyrie gets the ball, gives him that long lead, bang, it's in the net. And what's happening? Kawhi can't double on him. Paul George is having a terrible season at the ceiling. Harden's playing okay, so Harden's going to be another one of the guys. He's in Karl Malone territory. You know what that means now?
Not going to win a championship?
Second most points in the playoffs by any player in history that has not won a championship.
Yeah, it's Karl Malone territory.
Yeah, well, who's number one?
Karl
Malone. And you know what?
And Karl Malone, number 3 in all-time regular season
Oh,
scoring
yeah,
too, right?
yeah. You know what? I hated Karl Malone, too. And now,
that does not surprise me at all.
Really?
How
did you know that I hated Karl Malone? Couldn't stand that guy, man. Couldn't stand him. I didn't feel sorry for him, especially when he tried to jump into the Lakers that year with Shaq and sneak in the back door to get a championship, and they got
him and Gary Payton.
Yeah, it didn't work out for you. I was like, and I always liked
They
Shaq.
lost the Pistons.
Yeah, Chauncey and the boys came and said, go home. Go home. By the way, I want to say that when we're thinking about the playoffs and who's good and who's great, and the LeBrons are doing things that are taken away from his GOAT status, don't ever forget, the reason why Jordan is the greatest of all time is because of the Detroit Pistons. Now let's continue. In any event.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I think that's it we got for the NBA, unless you have something else to add.
Did we get to everybody?
That was all the series.
Okay, so now I want to look at it this way. There's been no ref debates so far. We haven't had any too much controversial calls. I appreciate that. If you looked at it, they're letting them go a little bit more physical. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's a little bit more half course, but when they're running in transition and they're running in banging, they're not taking away from the game. However, we're going to prove to this right now. At first, a few games, I always say that the NHL first round is better than the NBA first round, but it's how you look at things. Like the Denver game was great. The second LA Game 2 of Denver, the game where Ant-Man was yelling at Durant is the best. Did you hear him?
Yeah.
I swear he was calling him old man, wasn't he? I swear. And Durant's just looking at the guy, and like he just went over Durant, put the basket in. This game's over, old man. And you go, damn. So they've had their drama, but as long as they keep the refereeing, we're not hearing about controversy.
No.
You know what I mean? We're not too much hearing about the thing. Now, Westbrook and Buddy got a little stupid last night, where Westbrook got his ass tossed out of the game when the Clippers really needed him. So I'm not going to be surprised if Dallas wins that series due to the fact that, first of all, Kawhi's not 100%. We should never have traded Norm Powell for
Who did not win Sixth Man of the Year.
Who ended up winning it?
Oh my God,
the guy in Orlando.
I had it right.
They just announced it. He did not win Sixth Man. Why? Because he started too many games. Towards the end, he started starting games.
I don't think it was because of that. I think he was still eligible.
Or was it a guy in Indiana?
Let me see.
We're going to find out. Has a
picture of Jordan Clarkson, but I don't think that's right.
No, I don't think it is either. But in any event, we should have kept.
Naz Reid from Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. And he's looking great in this series to put him away. Which we'll just say, keep watching. We're going to get some better series, and I'm going to say it again. We've got NBA. Listen, thank you. I should say this, really. Thanks, Curry. Thanks, LeBron. Thank Durant. Thank all these guys for the history that they did lay down. We enjoyed all that in real time. But like Father Time has to say, you got to go. They're all going to be back next year for the same beating. You watch.
Yep.
We'll see what's going to happen. Which gets us over to the NHL, where there's going to be some serious beatings going on there too, don't you think?
Sure. Well, there's one thing I want to ask you first, though. If you hate hockey, but you love the CBC, is this not the worst time of year for you?
God bless Don Cherry, baby. God bless Don Cherry. Yeah. Imagine if you're in Schmuck or where a Nunavut or somewhere like that.
You're just not a hockey fan. This has got to be just the worst time of year for you. Hockey on every night on CBC.
And you know what? They're dying for more. They got to get more. You know what? This might break their season, even from a financial point of view.
CBC?
If these hockey games might just be, that's why they're.
Well, they need the Canadian teams to go far then.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that too. But yeah, they do need some of that. And you know, the number one team they need to go that far.
Oh, we're getting right into it.
No, we're going to see.
Okay, well,
I got to ask you again. How's the temperature of the city, buddy?
I think people are more nervous than they ought to be. We all know this is going 7. I'm going to worry next Saturday when it's Game 7.
Okay, so we're going to get back to those beloved Toronto Maple Leafs.
But a couple of things in housekeeping. The draft lottery is announced for May 7th. I know you're going to be looking forward to that.
Stop it.
What? I know I was when the Leafs were not good, so
no, because you know what? When you're excited to that means you're excited to be a loser.
You already lost, though.
Okay, so we'll just take our player and go. I don't need to be reminded. Like, I walk the streets and I talk about the Leafs. And
that's exciting. This is like you could, like,
what?
Prospects coming into your system.
Oh, yeah, that's forget. I'm a mock draft expert. Yes, I am excited. I
am
be excited. Okay, if we get the guy. Especially
I'm trying to put a positive spin on this for you, and you're just burying me.
I'm not a draft guy. You know what I mean? I hope we get the guys.
You were just talked about the NFL draft.
Okay, that's different when you're at the top, and I'm glad the Lions get. But you know what I mean? I think sometimes, like, you know why? We're not going to get the number one. Okay,
you don't know that.
Okay,
whatever. Fifth best odds, don't the Habs have?
What it pisses me off more is that I realized we had a failing season. That's what it is. However, when we seen the evolution of Jablonski,
Slavkovsky.
I'm going to learn his name by next season, I swear.
What'd you say 2 years ago? I don't even want to learn his name.
The guy is. I'm going to get a jersey by next year. I love the guy. And you know my old Hab I miss, Kokamini. He's looking good in the Carolina series. I thought he was going to be they're talking about mid-season, him going to be a scratch. He's played great. But anyway, that's enough Habs on the tabs on the Habs, which we do every show.
Also, Amazon announcing a 2-year deal to air Monday night games in Canada.
Really?
They're going to take over from Sportsnet, I guess.
So we'll have to have Amazon to watch the Monday night game? I don't know.
Yeah, we will.
Did Sportsnet sell it to Amazon? They had to. They had
I'm not
the rights
sure.
Here.
This could be an additional Monday night game. I don't know. The details aren't really out yet, but either way, there's going to be national Monday night games on Amazon from now on.
I'm going to keep my eyes open for that because you know what I mean? I don't want them stealing games and making me pay more money. That means I'm going to have to go to more things like buzz boxes and stuff because they try to get it illegally anyway.
Yep.
It's crazy, man. In Canada, we should be paying. We pay enough taxes. We should see any hockey game, any night, even sports night. One night, I didn't get a Dallas-Vegas game because they put it on Sportsnet Plus.
No.
Yes.
They were all on TV.
No, one was.
I watched both of them on TV, Cruz, I'm telling you.
Dallas and
Vegas.
Then what game was on?
Maybe it was on like Sportsnet 360 or something.
Oh, I don't mind that. One game was on. Maybe it was an Islander game. Maybe it was an Islander.
No, I watched all those games on TV too.
I'm going to go check the map when we go home. One game was on Sportsnet.
100% all the playoff games are on TV.
One was on me. I should know. You see my setup now. You know what it is. I'm sure one was on Sportsnet, or maybe it was on Sportsnet Plus till the end of the Jays game.
Maybe, because all the playoff games are on TV. That's part of the deal. Either way,
Continue.
Want to start off with the Western Conference?
Why not?
Dallas, Vegas.
Okay, so now what we're going to hear for the longest time now: did Vegas cheat?
No,
they didn't. However, what do they have? They've got here's what Vegas has: a Hannafin, a McNabb, a Haig, a Martinez, and a Pietrangelo. That's what a Vegas had. And what does Dallas have? An Heiskanen, a Suter, a Lindell, and a Hurley. Which combination? And Tanev too. Oh yeah, I forgot about
Suter.
that. Yeah, okay, I said Suter in there.
But I think you're burying the lead with what the biggest problem for Boston or for Dallas is.
What's that?
Jake Ottinger's turned back into a pumpkin.
Okay.
We didn't really talk about this much in the preview show, but we should have. That's the biggest X factor for Dallas. He had a pretty terrible regular season minus the end a little bit. He's gone right back to his poor midseason form.
Okay, I'm trying to. So maybe it isn't the defenseman. The scores have been low. Okay, but let's put it
They
in.
won game 1, 4-3.
Okay, but here's the deal.
It's not that low.
Okay, but you know what? Dallas had better chances in there, and I'll give you this. Just that Ettinger's let up that Samsonov type goal. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't played
Keep
terrible.
Keep Samsonov out of this.
Okay, just saying because we're going to get to him. But in any event, why not? Okay, here's one of the things I want to point out. The butterfly and keeping low with all the deflections and the goalies are going down great. Okay, they got to keep that floor covered. How many goals do you see in the top shelf in this playoff?
Oh, a lot.
A lot more than I've been seeing in the regular season. You know what I mean? So I guess they're watching the tape and saying going up. 2 of the goals on Ettinger that were bad, he was on his knees. You see, you watch the replay, buddy. If you'd have stood up, what was it? The one against Stone and I guess one against Eichel or not Eichel, the wingman, or Marcia
Show.
The
first 2 of the series.
If he had stood up in his position, standing in a regular goalie position, he would have stopped the puck. Personally, I think Dallas is done, and I picked them to go to the conference finals. I got Vegas. They can't. What are they going to do in Vegas? They're going to split there?
I mean, you're going to split at best if you're Dallas.
Okay, so now not only that, those 5 guys that I've mentioned on the back end there, what are they doing? Great games, mind you, great speed, but this is one team of all the playoffs I've seen, and there's a lot of great hitting in these playoffs. I'm liking. Those 5 guys hit everything in sight. You see them out there, they're always hitting. Now, the Minnesota guys, the Dallas guys kind of hit, but like the guys like Harley and Heiskanen, and they like to carry the puck a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, who's the carry the puck guy on Vegas? They hit first, then we'll carry the puck. And they're big. And they're big. Look at those guys. Like they just beat down Dallas in the third period. It's what they do. They beat them down and they get the goal. Because look at last night. Did you see the game?
Vegas is going to win the cup again.
Oh my God.
I'm calling it.
Oh my.
I'm calling it. They're winning the cup again.
You know what I mean? And they're at times they're manhandling Dallas.
Oh yeah.
And Dallas, and you know what?
This is kind of the same we saw in the conference final last year, though, because don't forget Vegas went up 3-0 in that series.
I hear you.
Dallas, I think they extended it to 6, but I mean, once you're down 3-0.
Oh, you're done. You're done like dinner. And you know what? Those first 2 top lines on Dallas are playing great hockey. You know, they really are. They're getting checked a bit, but they're getting scoring chances. They're shooting.
Yeah, Robertson's having a much better series against Vegas than he was last year. He probably is Dallas' best player. The rest of the guys are...
Sagan's been playing good with Buddy on the wing. They've been okay, but it's just what happens is... I've noticed another thing about this is that everybody's trying to do the circle, forward check, back check thing, but everything's getting clogged in the middle.
Yeah.
So everything's getting clogged in the middle. That's okay because when the dam breaks... Who's got the goalie that makes the save? Okay, and that's been a lot of games in the playoffs. Personally, we're not going to talk about it forever. Whatever people are going to say they're going to say this forever about Vegas and this year and the whole salary cap nonsense and all that other stuff. Let's cut to the chase. They made good trades. They signed the guy. They brought the guy off the injuries list. They put a full team on the ice. All the guys came back. Any team in the league can do that, right?
Yep.
Now, does it make you kind of get pissed off, especially when we seen the Kucherov thing a couple years ago? And a while ago, it was started in a certain city in Ontario. So I think people should shut up.
It started in Chicago, actually, with Patrick Kane.
Right. You're right. Okay, but whatever the case may be, however it went down, it's supposed to be a safety insurance, and we here at Thousand happen to agree you need that policy, correct?
Sure.
However, you manipulate that policy, well... we've all been to the Twilight Zone, you know what I mean? But you're calling Vegas already? I think the series is done. When they didn't win last night, very done. You know what I mean? And God bless Vegas and George McPhee and Buddy, that's general manager, and
Kelly McCrimmon,
and the ability to switch a coach every 10 minutes, because if the coach ain't doing it, the organization will.
And they made up from Boston's mistake firing their coach.
You got it.
We'll move it on. 3 Canadian teams, and by the way, you got to be a real sicko to be a fan of one of the Canadian teams in hockey. Things never come easy.
No, I know what you're saying. So what are we going to next?
Let's go Edmonton, LA. So surprisingly, LA took game 2 in overtime. How often are you going to win a track meet against Edmonton? Not often. I don't think that's going to be the recipe.
Did you see what happened the next game?
Yes.
Okay, so guess what? And Doughty's playing his ass off, and the team's trying hard. I'm thinking that the series is over now.
Already. You think they win game 4 in LA?
Yeah, and then they come home and they finish it. Yeah, because
I think there's a chance LA can win game 4 at home.
I think so too. And Talbot played good, but I mean, he got a little show. But and you know what? LA's got some scoring, and that guy I always wanted to go to Montreal. He can stay in LA. He's looked better than he has all season. He's had some chances, but he's got to play. He plays with plumbers. Because nobody trusts him to be without the big line.
They gave him a chance and he blew it.
And what did he do? He did nothing. And look, we're not even mentioning his name. Isn't that brilliant?
Everyone knows who we're talking about,
exactly. Kopitar scored a beautiful goal in overtime, no?
Yeah, he did. Top shelf goal.
I'm going top shelf. Here we go. And the crazy thing about that, when you see it, is that I knew right then, I go, oh, what can LA do? But to come out the very next game and take the ass kicking that they took, oh, and I'm not saying the LA is not trying, but Edmonton's going to the next round.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the series. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, go ahead. Which way are you going to go next?
Vancouver.
Yes. The kid stole a game last night.
So last night, Vancouver, only 12 shots on goal.
Yeah.
I believe that's a franchise low for a playoff game, and they still managed to pull it out. 2-1 win in Nashville.
Do you think they can win again like that?
I mean,
okay, Quinn Hughes picked up the puck and went down. Quinn Hughes' legs must be tired. What did he play, 1,000 freaking minutes last night? All he did is pick up rebounds and race down the ice. Where were the forwards? It was a good, tight game. But how can you say it was a good, tight game when Nashville had 36 shots, didn't they?
They had 30, let's see. 30 on the dot.
Okay, 30, and Vancouver had 11? Come on. So what are you doing? You're playing prevent defense? I know you're protecting your goalie. He made some huge saves. What's his name? DK Smith or something?
Casey DeSmith.
Casey, yeah. The guy was unbelievable. Do you think that can hold up, though?
I still think Vancouver wins the series.
I
wouldn't be surprised. I said this in the pre-playoff show. I wouldn't be surprised if Nashville comes out of game 4 with the 2-2 split, but I think Vancouver takes in 6. I stand by that.
I had the Preds in 6.
I stand by Vancouver in 6.
I'm gonna say
so you think Vancouver, you think Nashville's going to win 3 games in a row here?
No, but it's now 2-1. It's
Vancouver.
2-1. Okay, so they win now. Oh, yeah, they could win 3 in a row. Why not? Yeah. Because they could have easily have won any of these games. They could have won all 3 of these games. They could have won. The problem is, I don't know if the kid's going to hold up like Demko. The guys like JT Miller and what's his name?
Pettersson's got to step up.
Oh, these guys are invisible out there. Come on. The only guy you notice all the time, well, no. You know what? Let's not say anything about just their performance at times seem to be the intensity level.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when it clogged in the middle, you know who wins? The guy that works the hardest. It sounds silly, but in hockey more than any other sport,
that's true.
The guy that works the hardest wins the game. And Nashville's, their legs were going all night. Great crowd, too, which is going to get something.
Oh, you know that in Nashville.
Oh, great crowd.
They had the car to smash outside.
Oh, yeah, and you know what? And we're going to get to all that in a bit when we get to our favorite team. But Nashville, they had the crowd there. Everybody looked like they were, like the legs were churning it all the time. And a lot of times it looks like Vancouver was on their heels. So how many games, the odds of playing like that is what?
Well, I mean, that's just one game, though, that they played like that.
The other 2 games, come on. It was pretty damn close. Look at the scores. I checked them out. It's like, it's not like Vancouver's dominated anything. And if you look at the shots on goal, I think that Nashville's outshot them every game. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying that's not a recipe to win, and you don't have Demko now. So is this kid going to be Ken Dryden? You better hope.
I don't know if he's going to be Ken Dryden, but I think the Canucks can be good enough.
Well, I think the way that they circled the wagons to protect him was cool, but you gave up a lot of offense in doing that. You know what I mean? What are they saying? I will give Kelly Rudy and I'll give Elliot Freeman this. What do they say over and over again? And Jeff O'Neill. Those three guys, they say one thing. Score 3 goals, you win a game. You don't score 3 goals, you don't win. Check all the scores. And it's a pretty accurate assessment of what's going on. You know what I mean? Even though last night was a little bit differently, but we're not going to have many of those games. Agreed?
Agreed.
You know?
And we will finish off the West with Winnipeg and Colorado. Winnipeg winning a barn burner 6-7 at home for game 1, but then Colorado's come back to win the last 2 games, has not allowed more than 2 goals after all that hubbub about their goaltender Alexander Georgiev.
He had a bad night.
He had a very bad night.
Well, they're hitting the shots from the fairway will kill you.
But I mean, there was a legit concern about him being overworked.
Agreed, and I was there, but does it look like it the last 2 games?
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
That might have been the wake-up call he needed.
And not only that, I'm getting tired of that. I heard some old school guys, and who's the guy that used to coach everywhere, and he had Bruce Boudreau. Is that his name?
Oh, yeah.
I love the guy.
I love him too.
He's good. You know what he was saying though? Like when he heard about this, he scoffed. When he overworked, and he goes, how come these guys back in the day that drank beer and ate at McDonald's played 70 games? You're going to say, well, it's different time, game was slower,
times.
whatever. But come on, those guys went out there for all those games, so why can't these guys have just as many?
Well, everyone had pretty bad fitness then. That's the difference.
Okay, you're going to do that. You're a kid. I'm not accepting that. Put the pads on for that many games. You can get overworked. Don't get me wrong. I seen the shots on the guy. Colorado plays that style. You're going to get some pucks at him. Colorado too big, too fast, too strong. Winnipeg can't. And you know what? Another thing is what we get back to, what we beat a stick is, Winnipeg, how's your power play? I think they have a shorthanded goal, though, because they got one in that 7-6 game, so the numbers could be skewed. And what's his name scored a power play goal, a bad one. Another guy was on his back too much that night, but he stood right up afterwards, so he was okay. Hullebuck is not the reason they're losing.
Absolutely not.
No, he's not the reason he's going. He's still a world-class guy, but Colorado's coming in waves. They got 3 lines coming at you, and Kyle McCarr playing, almost 30 minutes a night? And I like his buddy. The guy that he plays with.
Nichushkin?
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite combos.
Oh, they were dynamite when they won the cup.
Yeah, but as I'm saying, they look so good because all the other combos in the league, you just see big guys doing the same thing. They're Lego guys, or they're like Mario. Like they just go out and do their thing, and they look good, and they're very efficient at doing it.
Sure.
But that combo just has that look to them, just like when Fox is what's his name on the Rangers. When we get to them, they're another thing. They ain't hitting shit.
Yeah.
But you ain't hitting them either.
No.
Okay, you know what I mean? But
it's sizing up to be a second round for Vegas, Colorado. We know they have a little bit of history, so that should be a lot of fun.
I'm hoping when I see the little bracket they show, and ESPN acts like they own hockey. You see ESPN bracket.
Well, ESPN just acts like they own sports, so that's not surprising.
True. Okay, so they got a bad combo of chemistry on this thing in Messier and Subban. Can we say that?
Yeah, we can say that.
Can we say that? There's some bad chemistry there, okay? As opposed to the
TNT panel?
TNT panel's okay, and they got
theirs seems a little bit more natural though,
because they got Ray Ferraro, don't they? No,
he's ESPN, but he's in the booth,
okay, but
TNT, it's like Bissonnette, Lundqvist is a little bland at times.
But, he is. Yeah. But I mean, he tries, and they got Anson Carter because they have to have their traditional black
Gretzky's
guy
on there.
Yeah, and Gretzky says a lot, and then he says nothing. Looks like he's burned one. No, Gretzky look a little stoned sometime up there. But
their panel's a little bit more just like the boys talking,
Which the ultimate boys talking is our crew, which we have to be. And even though Ron McLean, what he's done to Don Cherry, I still hate him at times. But when Rudy, Elliot Freeman,
Bieksa,
and what's her name? She's good to be there. I forget her name. I should be shot.
Botterill?
Is that her name?
She hasn't been on the panel in the playoffs, though, has she?
Not too much because the boys took over.
No, because she does commentary for TNT.
Oh, right. That's where she is. And Kaplan does it for ESPN.
ESPN.
But when that crew just gets on there, the boys crew on Sportsnet, they're damn good. But we missed. You'd have just as good a crew as the TSN guys could get in there, but they got no games.
Well, the deal's going to be up for Sportsnet in a couple years, so hey, TSN, if you want to, you got a bid for it.
Oh, they're coming. They will. They're going to get it. Because, it's funny we say that. Couldn't we have a little bit of both?
I don't know.
I just think, though, it's
all about money.
Always, all the time. But that's a good crew, though. I like the Elliot Freeman, Kelly Rudy, and what is his name, Bieksa? Yeah, they're pretty good. I think they all seem to drop in a female of a person of race. Isn't that all DEI shit? I'm glad they're holding up their end of the deal.
Let's not go there. Let's move it on to Eastern Conference.
Yes.
3 series already 3-0.
Done like dinner. Like what happened?
Okay, New York, Washington, that was the predictable one. I think I picked it in 5, but like I wouldn't have been shocked if the Capitals get swept. But Carolina, New York, and Florida, Tampa being 3-0, those are pretty shocking.
But you know the thing about it, though, and it's really a drag. I've watched all those games. How did I miss one then? But I've watched most of the Islanders Carolina series.
They've all been super tight.
But I'm going to admit that all the series, that's one of the best looking ones. Like the games are just dynamite. And you know what? Nobody holds no quarter in that series, man. No quarter. They're going up and down the ice. They're banging. It's great, great hockey.
How about that comeback in game 2?
Oh, there you go. That could be the series right there.
How many instances of a game are there where of a team pulling their goalie, they tie it up, they get the winner, and then the other team's got to pull their goalie?
Okay, what's even more insane, did you see St. Patrick have a baby on the bench?
Oh, I'd be too.
When that went down, that looked like an Islander win. I thought that was going away. Here we go. Whoops! And now, when that happened, I said to myself, if they don't,
they were just over 2 minutes away.
Oh, you got it. And the bottom line is, when you think about it, is they had to win the next game when they didn't. I thought that's a series. I don't know who I was with. I was talking on the phone with one of my buddies. They go, that's too early. That's too early to call it a series. No, there's certain things that happen in a series that when you look back at it, there was the TSN turning point.
Yeah, like game 1 of that Columbus-Tampa Bay series.
100%.
They were down, like 3-0 in the first period?
Away we go.
Came back, never looked back.
Never look. That's what I'm saying. And I felt bad for the Islanders because I was kind of cheering for the Islanders more than Carolina. Not that you care. Like, do we really have a horse?
I think you just want to see a good series.
Well, which we were seeing, which is unfortunate because the series is going to be over now. And we're going to lose that quality of hockey because some of the best hockey we've seen was in that series, in my opinion.
Where do you think the chances are of the Islanders extending the series a game or 2?
I think they're going to do one because they're going to be proud in front of their fans. They're going to be on Long Island.
I still wouldn't be surprised if they extended it to 6, to be honest. With
really?
Their vaccines. Why not?
What was the weird shit with the goaltending there?
What, like them starting Varlamov, then
and
going back to Sorokin?
Like, what were they?
I think they were just
Patrick
looking for like
overthinking.
I think he's just looking for a spark. It didn't work.
No, I would. You go home.
But like, would have made a difference if Varlamov was in net for Game 3?
You never
Probably
know.
Not.
We don't know. But I'm saying you go home with the girl that you went to the dance with.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. That's what I'm thinking.
Although Sorokin was pretty bad Game 3, so maybe there's a point to that.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. And Sorokin's a better goalie in the long run. We got that.
Agreed.
But I remember one year, I don't know if you remember this, but we had, what was that goaltender's name? And he went to a free agent. He went to Washington that we had on it. And Carey Price sat in the bench during the playoffs because this guy got Halak.
No, you guys traded him to St. Louis.
Okay, to St. Louis.
Yeah.
But we had Halak.
Yeah,
and
09.
Price.
I remember that run.
Yeah, remember that run, but Halak got hot. What happened? Price had to sit in the bench. Price is the better goalie. You know that. But
Sure.
Halak was so goddamn...
Well, at the time, it wasn't so obvious.
Well, there
was a lot of debate there.
Only because Halak was super hot. He just got on a run from mid-season, and he was on fire. Where is he today? Who had the better career? Did we make the right decision?
Sure.
But okay, end of story. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. That Varlamov is having a Halak moment, in my opinion.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's what the playoffs are all about.
And Sorokin's going to start beginning of the season. Patrick is going to give him some hugs, give him some love, take him up to Quebec, take him to a few clubs. This is how we do it. And you're going to be just fine next year because the only thing you're going to say out of this is that Patrick keeps his job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you agree?
He has to. You can't fire him already. He barely got there.
Yeah, but he got you in the playoffs. You were, 8 points out, weren't they? They looked like they, remember we said...
and not even in a wild card spot. They got the 3rd seed.
Okay, so remember we said on there, thanks, Patrick, for coming out. But remember, I don't think either one of us... Because remember the horrendous start they went?
Yep.
They were like, what, 1-3-1?
Oh, it was like win streak, lose streak, win streak.
But when he first jumped on the bench, though, he started 1-3-1, didn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't
it was
pretty.
A good start, but... Anyways, Patrick, you'll be back in Quebec soon. Sorry. It was fun. Great hockey, though.
Great hockey.
And the other one, Washington, just go home.
Yeah.
They're no match for the Rangers.
Tampa, Florida, I think that one kind of mirrors the Carolina Islanders series. They've all been tight games.
Yes. No, they've been highly entertaining. And you know, another moment was, too, when Florida scored in overtime. I said, oh, shit, there's a series right there. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times in this series, Tampa Bay has been the better team. And you look at the shots on goal and the famous... Yes.
That was kind of their MO against the Leafs last year, too. They looked like the better team at times, but they just couldn't finish.
Exactly, and that's what's happening again this year, especially from, I don't know, you're right. It's either TNT or ESPN has something that one of those analytic numbers. Where Tampa Bay was looking.
SA?
Oh, no, I don't even go there. Like, I smash my head on the floor when they talk about it, especially when they get the girls and you see they're reading the teleprompter. And I don't want to say nothing about that. You know they're reading straight off there, and they're sounding like geniuses. Almost Einsteinian. In their delivery of those numbers. On a goddamn teleprompter, I don't want to know the numbers. I don't want to know that shit. But any event, you know what I'm getting at, correct?
Yeah.
Tampa's look great. And you know what, though? Kucherov is snake bitten, and maybe it's his time. Like karma got him. Tampa, maybe it's their time. Because remember back in them winning the Stanley Cups and getting them series, everything always seemed to go Tampa's way. Nothing's going Tampa's way in this series. You know what I mean?
Nothing.
They had one power play where I think that whatchamacallit couldn't even get their hands on the puck, and they didn't score. 2 goal posts. And did you see that game?
Yeah.
They had what I think it was 2-minute power play, 1:42 seconds of possession in the zone. In the zone, and they took 2 shots and recovered, which I'm liking those teams that are doing it. Don't keep Toronto Maple Leafs. Don't keep passing.
We'll get to them in a sec.
Yes, we will. Don't keep passing. Shoot. Colorado does it.
Sure.
They shoot. Vegas does it. I noticed when the passing thing wasn't working. You hear Stone out there going shoot, and they just fired and dig.
Yep.
What would I say earlier? Hard work will get you there. Another good name for the show.
We'll move this on to the one we all want to talk about, Toronto, Boston. There's just one thing I want to say.
Dun, 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 dun,
I hate Marchand. Anything nice about this guy, I take back. I watch him, and I can't believe King Rat is the captain of an NHL team.
Vermin.
You watch the replay sometimes, and like the diving, the embellishment, like it's pathetic.
Oh,
it's pathetic. I understand the gamesmanship of trying to lure a guy into taking a penalty, but like all this is outrageous. It just makes him look like a bitch, honestly.
Well, you're talking.
A few other guys on the team bug me too, but he takes the cake.
Oh, number one. No, look who you're looking at here. I call him
Marchand hater number 1.
Thank you. He's vermin. If he was on Ted Nugent's farm, he'd be shot by now for being in the hen house. That weasel, get him out of here. He's no good. Now,
do you see the guy dressed up as the rat in a Bruins jersey at Maple Leaf Square? That's funny.
You have to go for that. But you know what really made it worse, though, is when him and Bertuzzi were going at it, and Bertuzzi got a stick on the one leg, and Marchand grabs the other leg and rolls. That's like Golden Globe Oscar material.
Well, when he grabbed the wrong leg?
Grab the like I rewound it 3 times and went, but you know what? That's a pace of hockey, though. Like the refs haven't been bad, except in the Toronto series. We'll get to that.
At times, yeah.
Yes, it's been horrible. Like Marchand's got away with stuff. So what you should do, especially in the game when they went ahead and they won in game 2 there, Bertuzzi and Marchand should have both went to the box. That was game 54.
We've both gone to the box.
I think it was going to. So what happened in there? And previous to that, McAvoy takes the legs out from under Matthews behind the net.
Oh, that was the worst
one. You see on the one replay, the referee's in the picture. How can? And then the Leafs were all over you. You guys had sustained pressure at that point. I saw that game, and I'm not want to bank the ref, but the reffing has been the worst. And I hate to say it because I'm no Leaf guy here. I'm just gonna say I watch so much hockey. There has been weird calls in the Leaf games. I don't know why. Is ESPN keeping their New England network happy? I don't know. It's weird. Like, you got to admit, like, sometimes Marchand should have went to the box. Sometimes Bertuzzi should have went to the box. Bertuzzi went to the box more. Now, you're going to blame the first game. You're going to say about Domi being overzealous or McCabe being whatever. You know, guys taking penalties.
Bad penalties in game 1.
Okay. Well, guess what? Your PK should have been better because their PK sucks. And one of the things that we said about special teams is you got to tighten up.
Well, I think our power play is the big problem right now, though.
Your PK was just there because both times when Boston got those power play goals, those at inopportune times, you guys had momentum.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's what drives me nuts. But what's good for the geese is good for the gander. Referees, you can't let Matthews get mugged like that. You know what I mean? He was getting mugged, literally. And here's another thing. If you want to keep it going, Matthews is American. ESPN, remember that. I'm just throwing that out there. But you got to look at it even more this way. Matthews is still the best player on both teams in this series, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Pasternak's getting knocked around. I like that. Yeah. He's getting knocked around. But we got down what we talked about in the other series. You know what Toronto's problem is, kind of? McAvoy, Lindholm, Carlo, and Shattenkirk. That's a big problem for the Leafs because those guys are out headhunting. Sure. And the only guys that are hitting back are Bertuzzi, Domi, your nice guy. I'm starting to like him a lot. We're going to have some discussions over the air about who gets the 40.
Ryan Reeves has had a few monster hits, too.
Oh, you're damn right. And you know what? He's not getting in trouble with the hits. He's doing it in the flow of the game. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, I've seen more hitting in these playoffs than I've seen in years.
And this series has been very, very hit heavy.
I like it, though. And you know, it's in the flow. It clogs up the middle sometimes. You know, when they all seem to get in sand again, and then like the toy, and you pull it back and rewind it. Okay, here we go again kind of deal. But I think the series has been great. All 3 games have been highly entertaining. I don't think that Toronto's had the breaks they've had. I think that this Allmark, the Swayman deal is, let's not talk about it. There's no fall off. You think there is, psychologically.
Yeah, there is. I think the Bruins are in their own head from what happened last year, to be honest, where they made the switch too late. Now it's like, oh, we're going to switch early and often. Why?
It's working. They're winning
Not
the
really.
series. Who's playing tonight?
It looks like Allmark.
Oh, so you're jumping up and down extra beers at your house, right? Okay, so we got to talk about.
I'm going to try and confirm this now.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Okay, let's be honest now. And I'm going to tell you, I talked to every Leaf fan out there that's listening. What about your boy Samsonov? If it wasn't for Edmondson, if it wasn't for Matthews coming back and taking away rebounds.
Actually, it's likely Swayman starts tonight, so.
Oh, really? So they're not doing the switch again, are they?
Maybe they finally got a brain. I don't know.
No, because what they're doing is they're playing with the goddamn media. Because I'm going to say this. I was almost going to do a gospel about this. I want to say out to all these goddamn media people in Toronto, all the talking heads. Should I mention names? No, that wouldn't be cool. But I'm going to tell you this, and you know this. I've been living here 43 years. I pick up the readers that are in the newspaper, and the main guys are on TV, and they start talking about the fans. I didn't see no fans out there killing the power play. I didn't see no fans out there making a block shot. I didn't see no fans out there like getting an assist.
But come on, there's a problem though with like Leaf crowds. We know that.
So you're getting on TV. Why didn't you say your goaltender, Samsonov, who let a shot by McAvoy from center ice, hit him? He didn't even move. Now, and
it wasn't a great game 1. He's been good since.
Oh, no, that was game 2 that he did that. I think it was that one. Whatever it was. Samsonov.
Whatever, we got the win.
You're lucky. Samsonov could be better. Your defense has bailed him out, which is something we'd be surprised to be saying. Besides the series, the Toronto Leafs defense would be.
I wasn't
either. I said they got the right guys out there. They did start the right guys.
I know a lot of people want Liljegren out of the lineup, but I don't trust Brody over him, to be honest.
Oh no. Keep it the way it is. Like this crew's playing well because they're hitting too.
Yeah.
And they're doing the thing like you said with Edmondson and Lyubushkin when he's out there with Riley. They're cleaning out the front.
Lyubushkin and Edmondson, by the way, just 2 guys you really want in your playoff lineup.
How many times they move the guy, the puck hits Samsonov. He sees the puck. He sees the shooters. That's the way it's got to be. I personally believe, but it's not just him. It's a lot of goalies. Like we said, Ettinger and Dallas Nutt. They're going to their knees too much. And in the crowd, like that goal that Marchand scored. Nice goal. Samsonov standing up, guess what? Hits him. You know, something that simple as that. And that's what makes it so crazy. But when you hear all these guys complaining about the fans in Toronto, I think that's bullshit. That's an excuse. You know what I mean? And I did see some momentum swings, but that goes to this thing. Okay, I've been living in this city.
But when people are saying this is like the worst playoff Leaf crowd like ever.
At moments. So what they do...
Well, we weren't there.
Okay, I wasn't there either, so I'm not going to criticize. I just think it's too much to blame. You're taking.
Well, I think it's just like a little bit of a wake up call. Like, come on, fans, like let's get into this.
Okay, so
let's give something that the players can feed off of.
Okay, so you and I are going to go down there, and we're going to be the arbitrators of people that think that should be getting out of their silver seats and going. So if we don't,
they need to hire seat fillers. I've said this before.
Okay, so here's
all you need. Just think about how many people would sign for this job. All you got to do, just sign up, like just show up with a jersey and like whatever, just official team merchandise. That's the only prerequisite. Then when these guys are like at the bar in the platinum section, just show up there and be loud. That's all you got to do.
Okay, so I'm saying at the end of the first period, what you do is you take out the A series because they're going to be eating in the restaurants anyway, and you bring the Leaf Nation crowd that's outside watching the game, and you put all them in those seats.
That's what I'm saying.
And here we go. We're going to get something out of that because you know what? I want to say this. Like I said, one more time. I've been in this city 43 years. There's passionate Leaf fans in this city. You're one. I'm sitting across from you guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you'd be on your ass if you were in that game. You know what I mean? But I think it's too much of an excuse. But Toronto's been like that since I moved here. Like you go to a concert in Detroit, you go to a concert in Toronto. There's a big difference. I don't know why that's the way it is.
But it wasn't like that at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Yes and no. But the thing about the Gardens, too, was the way the place was built. That makes a difference too. And that happens a lot. But you can't say that because look, Winnipeg's no burn too. Joe Louis was always loud. I remember that Joe was rocking loud. But here's the difference. We gave towels out, didn't we, in Toronto?
So what?
Look at the Winnipeg crowd. Look at the Vancouver crowd. Those are Canadian crowds.
I know.
And look what they're showing. Look what they're representing.
I'm not saying it's a Canadian problem. I'm saying it's a Toronto problem.
Okay, but I don't want to say when they lose in Game 7, it was because of the fans.
Stop it. We're not losing in Game 7.
Okay, I'm just saying I don't want that excuse down the road. I want you to understand. I really want you to win. Andrew, I'm cheering for Toronto. I'm
telling you,
owners.
it's a strategic thing to try and get the fans going. I hope it works tonight.
I think it is too, but I think the number one thing is there has to be more going to the net by everyone besides Domi and Bertuzzi and Matthews. Nylander's a big miss on this. I'm saying you're Matthew Nice
But
guy.
he's not a reason why you can't use that as an excuse.
What's that?
That Nylander's out.
No, you can't use it because I'm going to tell you this much. Tavares and Nyes have upped their game.
Agreed.
Those guys have been snake bitten. You know what I mean? Like around the net. Those guys put pressure on the net, and your third line should get some more time. When they're out there, they've got some damage. You notice they play the fourth line more than they've been playing the third line. If you want to call it the fourth
I disagree.
Line. Reeves got more minutes than Robertson
In Game 3?
I think so, and I couldn't believe it when I seen that. Check out Time of Ice. I was very, very surprised. I think Robertson and that Jam Rock or whoever the guys are.
Yarncroke.
Give him out there.
No, Robertson played more.
By what?
3 minutes.
Oh, really? Because in the third period, he got more time. But up until the second period, they were showing like third and fourth lines. And here's a funny thing about those third and fourth lines in the series, okay? When, what's his name is? Maroon's out there. He's worse than Reeves. He's just out there looking to hit it. He's running the guys in the wall. Like he's missed guys and run into the wall. But everybody out there's got to look for him. So I've noticed this is that, especially in Boston, you get the line change out there. And I'm giving it they're trying to keep Pasternak away from, I think, a bit away from Tavares. Tavares is checking him pretty good, or they're checking that line pretty good. I've noticed, especially here, they didn't get away with as much as they try to throw the Pasternak line out there when Toronto's fourth line's out there. Now, I'm sure Keefe's trying to do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like get a trap there.
Line matching and all
that.
that.
But do it at the weird times, especially on the fly. That's what I mean. They're switching on the fly quicker to try to do that and cause some chaos. He's okay. But I thought Keefe, and he's not your buddy, Keefe's been very good about when those guys go out there, they usually start in the offensive zone, which is coaching 101. Don't want your guys look bad, correct? So what's going to happen tonight? What's going to have to change things? What do you think?
Well, I mean, the Leafs got to figure out how to win home games. This has been an issue like 30 years in a row now.
Oh, I'm telling you, and something's going to have a stinker. They can't have one tonight.
Which is why I do believe the crowd kind of does play a factor in this.
I'm saying the biggest thing is that my famous line, the special teams have to improve by 3%. 2%.
I'd say more than that.
Oh, is that what it is? But the special teams, because you know what it seems when Boston gets their chance, they capitalize. Toronto gets their chance and nothing happens. And I'm telling you, I've been watching the teams. When they do that dipsy doodle, everybody's in the compulsory routine. I
don't think that's been the problem with the Leafs at all, though.
They haven't shot enough on the power play.
Oh, you know why? Because they keep losing the zone because of one guy. I'm not going to say his name.
Okay, then he's
on the sidewall, tries to go back to the point, got 2 Bruins on him. You lose the zone.
Okay, so
it's happened like 3-4 times each game.
Then what he should do is
unbelievable.
Then turn around, just fire it straight at the net.
I would say split the guys up on the power play.
That's not a bad idea either. I think that's going to come. But
it has to.
Okay, why doesn't he just turn around and fire the puck at the net sometimes? You know what to watch tonight.
I mean, to be fair, like a lot of time the shooting lane isn't open, but at least try and get something like pass the puck behind the net. Something. I don't know.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. I seen Kopitar doing it, and I seen Stone do it because they got their place in the power play. When they go to get trapped, they just turn around and fire it at the net. You know what I mean? If they get in trouble, they fire it at the net. I think that Marner overhandles the puck.
100%.
You know what I mean? So he's overhandling.
I think Keefe's trying a little bit too hard to get him going.
That's true too, but he's playing. He's good on 5-on-5. And he's okay on the penalty kill.
He's okay. His penalty kill has been his strength these playoffs. I agree.
And a couple times he's had that
one
penalties.
He's had that one like amazing assist to Nyes, but like besides that,
so what? What else has he done?
That's my point.
Yeah. Okay. Domi's had that amazing assist. Couple of amazing assists to Austin Matthews too. And don't everyone say this, okay?
Well, Domi scored.
Yes. Well, don't everyone say this too, because Hyman's getting a goal every game in Edmonton, and who's the big scorers in this league? Matthews is the best scorer in the NHL. Stop it. I don't give a damn what you're saying. If they want to clog the lanes and they want to mug him and do shit, he's still getting his chances. You know what I mean? Like Matthews is still getting his 5 or 6 shots on goal. Yeah. Not shot attempts, on goal. And as they continue to do that, his time's going to come. He's hit a couple posts too. You know what I mean? So what comes around goes around. I'm expecting a big game out of the Leafs tonight.
Me
big
too.
Game. Very physical. I think this might, as physical as it's going to be, I think tonight could be more physical. Now let's look at it this way. It's Saturday night. Maybe the crowd's going to get a little bit livelied up. Play a little Marley, stop at your local Mary Jane's, maybe the Green Cloud.
That's going to just make you like a little bit more chill, though.
Not me. I'm different like that. Here's what you got to remember: sativa. Everyone stick to the sativa. Everyone put away the indica tonight, okay? Put that over there. We're not in the couch. We're at the game. You know?
Yeah, the only lineup changes I would make are if actually I got a notification here that Nylander is expected to play tonight, so.
Weirdest thing, him missing the 3 games at this point in the season, eh?
You say migraines.
Is that what it was? Oh, it's just a drag. And you can't play with a migraine. Not a chance. Your head explode.
Yeah.
And you're in there. Just remember this. Listen, before we finish, I want to end on this note about this factor of the game. The Maple Leaf fan base is unquestionably passionate, bro.
Of course.
They're unquestionably. So I'm just saying, if this is the night, let it prevail. Like a sweeping wind comes into Scotiabank. Get a couple hits, because I heard it tried to get and stand up, but it always tries from the people in the top level. You got to start at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, like when I used to go to see
corporate.
I went one of the few times it happened, Rage is one, but I always say, how do you know you're having a good night? When the crowd's really in it. Like, I was on the floor at the Prince show, and everyone's dancing on the floor because they're on the floor, and I remember telling Gail, look over, and it was one of the few times, to the very top of the Scotiabank, to the floor, everybody was dancing. That's what you got to see at the Leaf game tonight. Mm-hmm. Everyone's got to roar. Everyone's got to do it. You know what? And don't wait for it to happen. Generate.
Be proactive.
Be proactive. That's what you got to do. And every guy out there is going to play. And for all the people on the streets, Domi's not playing like a chicken with his head cut off.
No.
I think he's been playing solid. I
wouldn't touch that top line.
No damn way it's their most effective. I think Nyes and Tavares have been playing great together. They get Willie back tonight. Is that how it's going to work? Where does Marner go? I think that's going
to knock Robertson out of the lineup, though.
Oh, boo. Because they're going to want Reeves for the toughness.
Yeah. Although what you could do maybe is put Nyes on the 4th line, but like...
No, don't do that. Nyes is one of your best players. He's gotten snake bit a big bit here. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got to stay with this lineup. I'm really glad what we had talked about. The 6th defenseman has not necessarily been Toronto's problem, and that's what we said going in.
Edmondson has been.
Oh, him and Lyubushkin or whatever. Yeah. They clear the front of the net. That's what's really cool. And they're a one-man headband. Knock the guy past the puck. Away you go. Yep. Give a sideline for Samsonov. I hope tonight, I'm going to predict this. If Samsonov doesn't have his best game of the series, you guys are in trouble. And he has not had a great game.
I think he's going to come out with a good game tonight.
He's been solid, but he hasn't
been his best, which is a reason for me to be optimistic.
There you go. Tonight's going to be his best game. Is that what we're going to say about the Leafs?
I think so. And I just want to say, Leaf fans, we all know this is going 7 games. Take a deep breath.
Aren't you guys glad you got a Milani on board to promote that civility and positivity?
It's going to be okay.
Okay, it's going to
be okay. And let's hope that Boston plays Allmark a couple more times.
Okay, there you go. And he won't be playing.
And hope that McMahon can come back too.
8 o'clock tonight. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be walking my dog. I'm going to be going from here out to San Francisco's. Jesco's. And I'm going to take the temperature wherever I go. And I'm probably going to be, I'm in a Blue Jay shirt, but I'll probably put on a Hab something, because you know what I like about doing that? Because then I can just be Switzerland. Oh, I got nothing to say. Hey, I'm a Hab guy. I'm just saying to you guys. Some people swear at me from the car. F you. Where's your Habs? Yeah, we're golfing, man. I know what we're doing. Working on our handicaps. I'm not saying. I'm asking you guys that you're in there. What's your perspective? Got to beat Boston, guys. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking too. Good luck tonight, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Good luck to my buds.
Yes.
And we will turn this over to my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone in the world's favorite segment. It's the Gospel According to Cruz.
Okay, everybody. We just want to take a different perspective on this week, and perhaps maybe we should pay tribute to something that is probably this, as I've heard most eloquently spoken, as the soundtrack to our hockey lives. But God bless the great Bob Cole, who just passed away a couple of days ago.
Age 91.
Was 91? Whatever the case may be, I'm just going to say that if you want to talk about hockey, and I'm just retiring, so everyone knows what age I am, I just want to know any time that I've seen an amazing, amazing hockey game that I did not hear the voice of Bob Cole. Not only that, I've always said that the cool thing about it is tone of voice, and my wife Gail will tell you that. It's the way that you say things. For example, if you go back to the great Red Army Philadelphia game, which I seen in real time, and yes, the Philadelphia guys were being bastards and swinging their sticks, and they're going, they're leaving the ice. They're leaving the ice. That's one of the They're going home. Yeah, it was just absolutely. I can't even, how many times, like, if you think about it, one of the things you remember is the famous Yzerman goal from center ice. The Mario Lemieux first goal beating Ray Bourque, he was on that. What's a few other ones? He did the famous overtime game, the Washington Islander game when Pat LaFontaine
the Easter epic.
Yeah, the Easter epic. He was there. He was on the mic when the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup, and we know who that is.
Yep.
So let's just think of, if you are anywhere from your age to my age, Andrew, and we're going to think about this, and how many brilliant games did you see and Bob Cole was on the mic?
Oh, yeah.
Especially you being a Leaf guy. How many were...
Leaf guy, like, of course, the Olympic gold medal game in 2002. The Joe Sakic call is one of the all-time greats.
I was going to get to that. The Joe Sakic call was just killer. I think he was another the Crosby call, too.
No, that was Chris Cuthbert.
Oh, that was Chris Cuthbert, yeah. Well, no, he did another one, too, beside the Sakic call. The Mario Lemieux Canada Cup game, where Gretzky dropped the puck back and Lemieux, he got that. He was in on that goal too. And you know what? I think part of besides the fact that how many generations this guy touched, let's just say the difference between, we're in Canada and there's Americans, okay? So if you say Jim McKay, you say Kirk Gowdy, you say Marv Albert, you say Vince Scully, you say Pat Summerall, you say Vern Lindquist, who just retired, Bob Cole is on that pantheon. And wherever they go, when their energy leaves somewhere, and there's a Hall of Fame in heaven, and there's a pantheon of announcers, and remember, Bob Cole put Howard Cosell in his place in 1968, which was brilliant, because I love Cosell, but he was very arrogant. He will be on that pantheon. You know, like if there's a Canton for broadcasters somewhere in heaven, his bust is going to be sitting there. Don't you agree?
I agree.
You know what I mean? And we should be able to thank him for staying well into his 70s, broadcasting games.
His 80s.
80s, yeah. Well, it is 80s. For how many years did he broadcast? Almost 50?
Yeah, basically.
First of all, condolences to the Cole family, but most importantly of all, thank you so much for broadcasting all those games that gave us the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat. Correct?
Amen to that.
100%. And on that thing, I think it's time to get my ass out of here and go get my girls. You know what girls I'm talking about?
Your wife and your granddaughter?
They're the first girls, but there's another type of girl. I got the soil in the front ground. You know what I mean? Got the shovel. Got to take care of your girls because May is coming, correct?
Yep.
And we will.
Those girls.
Yeah. And we will, sometime later in the year as football begins, we will be able to indulge in the fruition of my success.
Ooh.
How does that sound?
I like that. I like the sound of that.
Very good.
God bless Bob Cole.
Bob Cole. We love you. We're going to miss you for sure. Is there anything else we'd like to bring to the table except for the fact that I wonder what percentage of Leaf fans are going to be wearing Depends tonight when the game's on?
Oh, stop it.
Just wondering. Just something I'm throwing out there. I'm just wondering percent. No, I can't go there because I said I wouldn't say anything about untraditional things that are now untraditional about what may happen when a hockey game does not go the way that the Toronto Maple Leafs fans would like it to. How's that? Can I shut up now?
Yeah, you can shut up.
Okay, shut up right now.
Go Leafs, go. Matthews, Marner. Marner, I know you can turn it around, buddy. Come on, let's do this.
Big shout out.
Early in your playoff career, you were arguably our best guy in the playoffs. I know that gear's in there somewhere. Let's go. Nylander.
Well, I'm hoping for the best.
And Samsonov, I believe in you. Cruz may not, but I do.
Mrs. Milani, don't you have a beautiful son? And I hope they win for you, too. How's that sound?
There you go.
Okay, we're going to...
That'll definitely get you some brownie points with my mom.
Oh, your mom's the greatest. I can't wait to meet her. Is there anything else to say? Stanley's going to be there. I got Stanley with me. He's going to be yelling. Here we go.
As long as Stanley's going for the Leafs, I'm all good with that.
He's not sure. He's confused in any event. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I guess that pretty well wraps up the show. I hope everybody enjoys himself. Let's get out of here. Enjoy the afternoon. The rain is going to be shitty But by Monday, we're going to get temperatures of in the 20s.
Yep. Tomorrow as well, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hoping for some sunny weather tomorrow.
All right. At that point, I'd like to just say, as we come to the show, each and every person that listens to the show, thank you ever so much. Don't forget to put a like on where?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, which may not be around much longer, but either way.
They're going to get bought out by a bazillionaire and let it go good for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, okay, I'd like to say my name is Cruz.
And I'm Andrew Milani.
And you know what we do?
We keep the vibe alive. You can find The House That Happens on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Samsung, Podchaser, Boomplay, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at The House That Happens, and follow us on Twitter at House Happens. You can also shoot us an email at thehousethathappens@gmail.com.